let's see what we got here. Okay, you ready?
Oh, yeah.
But I'll only do the show if Smack brings his nunchucks.
Oh, shit.
He's got to bust out his nunchucks. Did he ever hit you with those by accident?
I hit his ass back.
You ready? Here we go.
Tell him. He will.
You know he will.
Yeah, he'll bring a pig and everything. He'll do it on the spots.
It'll be fun.
Yeah. It'll definitely be fun. And I just feel like
This podcast is sponsored by the Texas Mist, Austin's home of the best local and rock and metal shows. The Texas Mist also, God, I can't even talk tonight. Let me start this over because I'm just too excited tonight. This podcast is sponsored by the Texas Mist, Austin's home of the best local rock and metal shows. The Texas Mist also showcases national acts as well as specialty shows such as Metal Burlesque and Girls Night Out Male Review. The Texas Mist, as I like to call it, the home of the free parking, which it is. Gotta love free parking. Anyways, the Texas Mist is located at 1115 Old Bastrop Highway, Austin, Texas, 78742, and it's right past the landing strip. And with that, let's hit it, man.
You're listening to CobraCast.
I'm stuttering and stumbling all over the place already.
Deadly venom through its fangs, like toxins through a pair of hypodermics.
Oh, shit.
Cobra. This is the CobraCast, and here's your host, Bobby Sharon.
It's a beautiful thing. I gotta thank Kevin Gutierrez over at Assembly Line Studio for that because he's the one that created
that's pretty
that.
awesome.
That's
Pretty
That's
awesome.
pretty fucking cool, isn't it?
It comes with a British chick. And
Yes.
that's always cool when it comes with a British chick.
Oh, yeah.
Well, the crazy thing about that is he made the track here at Assembly Line and he sent it over to England. She recorded her part and sent it back.
That's what's up.
That's fucking some crazy shit. I love it though.
Oh, hell yeah.
I love it. Anyways,
Yeah.
this is the second anniversary
Happy birthday.
To you.
to me. Anyways, where do I got to start the introductions here? First of all, I am totally 100% blessed to have, well, the third man will be here pretty soon. He's running a little bit late. Anyways, my brother from another mother, Tony Park from Push Monkey.
She got paid.
She got paid. Push Monkey 333 in the house.
Yeah, yeah.
Hey, everybody.
And the man in front of me needs no introduction from the Dirty Worms.
Yeah.
MC Crash.
DJ Crash.
DJ Crash. My God, you know what? I gotta go back, man. You know, we were talking.
Yeah.
Let's just get this out of the way right now. DJ Crash.
I know you got MC on the mind. This
I
week,
do. That's.
this
I'll tell you,
this
man.
week that makes a lot of sense.
I understand.
I'll tell you because this podcast originally was supposed to be Big Don, yourself, and AJ.
That's right.
Yeah, and so when everything came down, I was talking to yourself
That's right.
that night,
That's right.
bawling my eyes out.
Yeah.
And man, you know, the perfect guy to take Big Don's place is right here.
Oh, man.
You know, honestly.
Oh, man.
I mean, you were like one of his best friends.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And we're going to reminisce tonight. We're going to just talk about a lot of old stuff and some new
Yeah.
stuff. And,
Oh, yeah.
you know, and but thank you for coming up, man.
I appreciate you, brother.
No problem. I
Appreciate
appreciate you coming up, man. I know it's like bittersweet in a weird way,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, I was thinking about it this week. Like, you know, what is this? How's this podcast going to go? And I was thinking, man,
Yeah.
it's going to be a lot of fun, but it can also be really sad too. I mean, this has been a tough
It's been rough.
tough
But,
week here in old school Austin music. You know.
Oh, yeah.
And
well, no, we had, you know, the cool thing was we had the show on Saturday night over at Hanover's. I got to turn myself up. I can't hear myself. You know, it was Blackheart Saints, 99 Crimes, the Bowleys, Vallejo,
Yeah.
Dharma Kings, and I did a little thing before I brought Vallejo up. Vallejo did a thing for him. Man, it was sad. But it was a great show, and we all, told stories and just did the best we could with it.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's
stories from here on out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And from maybe, I don't know, maybe 20 years, 25 years, hopefully it'll still be stories.
Oh, there's gonna be stories, man. I'll tell you, man.
So, and
but the like I was telling you when before you rolled in, I was telling Crash that I was just happy and super blessed that I got to have a podcast with him before he left this earth.
Right.
And like I said, we watched it. I watched it a couple times in the past week or so, and we watched it the other night, and it was a great podcast because he pretty much laid down.
Oh yeah.
He just laid it down, like when it came to Trump, or it came to the Austin music scene, or about his mother, or about whatever.
Well, and
it was just total truth. The whole thing.
That one of the most genuine people.
Oh
yeah.
I've ever known. He's just super genuine, super happy, positive.
Oh yeah.
But genuine at the same time. It's hard to pull off both. You know what I mean? It's just hard to do.
Yeah.
Like so I'm genuine, but I'm not always happy.
Oh no, kidding. You know me. I'm the
you know what I mean? Like, but he was always just. Man, I don't think I ever saw him without a smile on his face.
Right.
And bringing joy to the world. And it's just a tough loss, man.
Yeah.
It's tough.
I just don't know how. Well, put it this way. They don't make people like them, period. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not anymore, but just period. You don't never find people like that. So when you do, you have to hang on to every second of
That's it.
that.
Love every moment
what
with
I'm
them
saying?
because you don't know.
You just never know.
That's what's sobering about it.
Yeah. And like I said, I always tell people, you want to give them the flowers so they can smell them, give them the drink so they can drink them.
Yeah.
Tell them that you love them so they can think it. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I want to live by everybody. You know what I mean? Because that last promise, you just don't know. You know what I'm saying?
The weird thing about it was I followed his Twitter feed.
Oh yeah.
And his what his last tweet was, right?
I didn't see
it. Was talking about Steve Greer.
Steve Greer, exactly. That's right. I saw it on Facebook.
So, it's like, hey, we lost Steve Greer, and I'm like, oh man, that's
right.
It's terrible,
Right.
And then so I'm sitting here after a podcast, I'm loading up audio, and I usually have like Facebook up, or I'm watching Smacky the Clown or whatever, on Facebook or whatever.
I still haven't checked that. I gotta check that out.
It's pretty funny.
Oh my goodness.
It's kind of cool because it comes on at 10.
It's later tonight. We'll have to watch
yeah. So I'm done at 9:30, right? And he starts at 10, which is kind of cool. So anyways, so I'm just glancing over like this, and I'm doing my thing. I'm like, what? It said, R.I.P. MC Overlord. I'm like, that can't be right. That's got to be something wrong, right?
Yeah.
So then I go back and I type a little bit more. Something else pops up, and I'm like, oh, what the hell,
Yeah.
So then I call Patrick. I think Patrick the one that popped up, and then I texted you.
Yeah.
Then I texted AJ, and AJ was in the studio that night. So.
Yeah.
Man.
Leslie called me, and see, the thing is that I really fucking don't like social media. If you're gonna give me some bad news, please call me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I don't want like this.
It's hard anymore though. It's so fast.
It's so fast, yeah. And
That's
it's
the thing
like,
about
and I'm glad I found out that way, to know from a genuine heart. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we was on the phone and he, he was bawling his eyes out, and I'm like so numb, and the tears are rolling, but I was just so numb. I couldn't yell out anything. And just because, it was
you
so
couldn't believe it either.
Yeah, I just, I was like, that's my brother. Like, that's my protection. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? It's like, if anything went against me, he would be like the one I could go to and be like, yo, this guy fucking with me. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Right. What? Okay, let's go handle that. You know what I mean? That's how, that's how I looked up towards him, and I'm like, yo, my protection's gone. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so yeah, when Leslie Fisher called me, man, and he said, you heard about Overlord? I'm like, what? And I said, we always joke and laughing and playing, so I'm like, I'm ready for the punchline.
Right. No,
Yeah.
And when he said he was gone, it took, I mean, literally probably about 10 seconds for it to register. Like,
no, I get it.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And it was like, and it just took even longer to just started to accept it. And while he's crying over the phone, I'm just like looking, just my 100-yard stare was just like, okay.
Stunned.
Yeah,
I bet you're just stunned.
I'm just
like,
stunned. I mean, what's going to happen after this? I can't even tell you, like, but I just can't believe what the fuck I'm hearing. And all I can do is comfort him at the time.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I mean, the thing about him is, those shoes will never be filled by anybody. Never by anybody. There's never going to be anybody else in this town or like even on God's green earth that's going to replace that guy.
Exactly.
You know, I mean, every time I hung with him, I didn't know him as well as you guys did. But every time I saw him was a big hug, a big smile. I mean, when he came up here and did the podcast, it was like, you know, he made me feel like I was like
family.
No, but he made me feel
family.
He came in and
all the time.
That's it.
And I was watching the video and all those little things that we talked about. Like, you know, I'm not saying I forgot. It's like, you know, I've done it almost 170 episodes. So after a while, they kind of run into each other. But I rewatched it, and I mean, the very beginning, you know, I think that was the only time I ever played an artist's song in the beginning, because I always got in trouble for it on YouTube and Facebook Live. I said, fuck it, this time I want to do it, you know. So we did it and played one of his tracks, and he was just bouncing around, and he's all happy, smiling, and you know, and when we got done with that track, you know, he made me feel like, he goes, well, you're Bobby Sharon, man. You know, shit, you're representing the movement and all this kind of shit. You know, it made me feel like I was the fucking star, not these guys, you know. And I told him flat out, right when we started, I said, man, this is a bucket list episode to have these two guys in front of me, which it was. And I am so glad and so blessed, like, again, that I got him up here and got to hang when I had that time with him. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. And I'm so happy of that because, you know, that was pretty much his last record that he did. And and I was just so glad that we was able to accomplish that because we talked so many years about doing a record together.
You never did a record before?
We never did like an album together.
Wow.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah. We've done like features and stuff like that.
I thought you had, right?
But but we never did a full album together, you know, where, you know, I produced majority of the tracks and we were just bouncing off each other, and then it was gonna be EP at first. And then it got good. And then he said, oh, man, you know what? This is getting better. Why don't we just linked it all the way out to the album, you know what I mean? Because after about 4 to 5, 6 songs, you know, we was trucking, you know what I mean?
Right.
And then when I gave him some more beats, he said, fuck this, man. Let's just make an album.
Yeah.
And I said, hell yeah, you know, let's do that, you know what I mean? Because first of all, I always wanted him to get his just due, like he should, you know what I'm saying? I think a lot of times he get looked over when it comes to the history of hip-hop in Austin. So I figured, like, you know, just to keep him relevant, even though he's way more relevant than I thought, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's just, I just think that when it comes from us at our age, but the young cats are not even not able to recognize that, and I kind of get it. You know, you know, it's not in your hip-hop history book now, but you know what I'm saying? But you
and I think that time may tell. We'll kind of see. Like, I don't know. I think that even just this past week, you know, reading all the posts and just the things that people brought forth,
all the videos,
I learned stuff about him that I didn't know.
I'm going to tell you what's going to happen, though. I'm going to tell you something's going to happen. I don't mean to interrupt you. Is AJ has like 22 years of archives that he's going through.
Wow.
And he said, he's probably going to bring some stuff up tonight, but he said he's got so much stuff that he's sifting through that he, you know, so it's going to be a lot of stuff, old school stuff coming up that he has that's really going to lay the legacy down, you know.
Well, hopefully, man, if we can just do a lot of remixes and put a lot of stuff out, that would be excellent, because I would love to collaborate on another
Did
record.
he have a lot of unreleased stuff, or just?
I know he did. I'm pretty sure. I mean,
really?
we had unreleased stuff with AJ, so.
I'm going to say probably, I mean, all of us do.
Yeah, all of us.
All kinds of stuff.
Well, I know this.
So I'm sure, like, you know, is probably a good idea to get a hold of somebody in his family and just find out if they have any of his stuff that he might have just had, like, on a computer and on some home recordings or on a phone. I don't know if you can get any of that, but it'd be, you never know. Like, you might find some gems.
Oh, I know.
That
Yeah.
You know, because I know, like, for example, I've got stuff on my phone and in my computer that I can't wait to release, but it's not there yet.
Yeah,
And if
I
I
hear it.
pass tomorrow, I want somebody to go find that and do
Yeah.
something
Right.
with it. Right?
Oh,
It's
yeah.
some of the coolest stuff. I think maybe not, but I like it. You know what I mean? Not to make it about me, but I'm just saying I hope somebody
Yeah.
finds my stuff that I haven't finished yet.
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
that's the same thing with this. This is going to sound really stupid and hokey, but say something happened to me tomorrow, I would want someone to keep doing this.
Oh yeah.
So I have a file with all the passwords to all the programs, to everything, how to do it, how to set up episodes, how to do the episodes. So
Oh,
if
yeah.
something happens to me tomorrow,
Yeah. Yeah.
like someone could step up and
You
just.
got to write all that down.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, I'll tell you, man. There's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff that goes into all this shit. Trust me, it's
yeah,
not just like one
yeah.
little program
Well,
and stuff.
and not to get, but people don't think about that.
Yeah.
You don't.
Right.
You're
Yeah,
too busy
you never
doing.
know. Yeah.
You're living and doing, and you don't think
Yeah.
about what
Yeah.
happens if
Yeah.
you didn't, and what would
Yeah.
happen
Yeah.
if it ended,
Yeah.
and what would you do.
That's true.
So it's just something to think about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, it's not like we get up and write a will every day.
I
or-
know.
or
Exactly.
write
We're getting to that
anything.
age, though.
But
It's
yeah,
like,
we're getting to that
kind of
age,
thinking
like,
about it, like,
yeah.
you know.
It does make you think about it when all your great friends are, you know, starting to transition, and
Yeah.
you know, and you just feel like, you know what, you know, my number might be next. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Because you start
You never know what's
you
going
start
to.
feeling that way after a while. You just start seeing the numbers dropping, and when it's close to home, you start saying, man.
It was
You know.
it was just so weird, man, because he was like, you know, I would talk to him. Well, I would text him in the hospital over in St. Louis like once or twice a week just to check up on how he's doing, you know. And I'm doing good, man. How you doing? Miss you, brother. You know, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
And so he did, you know, the Big Don thing like
Right.
one or two times, right,
Yeah,
with
but
you.
Yeah, that was his. I'm sure that was his last.
His
gig.
last thing, yeah.
Yeah, but you know what was crazy is that the first gig that we did when he came back, I was like, yo, are you sure you could do this? You
Yeah,
know?
yeah.
He's like, nah, brother, I got to get up and, you know, move
Yeah.
around because, you know, I got to exercise a little bit. So I think it'd be in the best interest for me to do this. I said, okay, man, well, anytime you want to yell last song,
Yeah.
you let me know. And, you know, we'll cut this thing quick. He said, nah, I'll be all right, man. Just get my chair and we going to rock this thing like we always do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we pulled it off on the first gig. And then our second gig, when I picked him up, he was better. I mean,
Yeah.
you could tell his register was a little bit better. He had a little more bass in his voice. And he was, it seemed like he was healing. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, okay, well, all right.
You're on
well,
the mend.
yeah, well, I'm thinking, yeah,
Yeah.
we getting better. All right, I'm feeling better about this. He even stood up a few times, and he was not, you know, in the mood to. Well, he wasn't had that energy. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
He pulled off the whole gig, and I mean, I just knew that he was on the road to recovery. You know what I mean? So,
I just felt so bad, you know, of course, that he passed, but that he went through all that stuff in the hospital, was
Well,
there for, what, a couple months?
yeah,
It was a
well, you know,
good while.
Just like Les Fisher said, man, you know, he gave us his last. He came back to give us his last.
Yeah.
Put it that way. You know, he got better because he almost didn't make it out of that hospital.
Oh, I know.
So
Yeah,
he
yeah.
came back to give us his last. And so I have nothing but honor and respect for this man to take on, or put it like this, he was not that selfish, just not saying selfish in a bad way, but he willed his way to come back. You know what I'm saying? Like somewhere people can just give up. He willed his way back.
Well, and that's what, when I heard, you actually texted me late. That
Yeah, it was
night.
real late. Yeah.
That's how I found out was from you.
I didn't sleep that night. I was up
Man,
all night. Yeah.
Oh, bro.
And I remember going, no way, he was totally getting better, and like,
Yeah.
what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ha- We were gonna be
Right.
doing some shows coming up
Right.
now.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
what the
yeah,
hell? We
yeah.
got this.
And
Yeah.
the podcast, yeah.
Right.
You know, this is something. What happened?
It-
Like,
it
you're
was-
kidding me.
It was crazy because I asked him to do this when he was in the hospital over there.
Oh,
Yeah, because
man.
I was putting it together, man.
Yeah.
Because, you know,
Yeah.
my thing with this is, you know, okay, the 200th episode is going to be big. The second anniversary is big. And that's who, I handpicked him. I said, man, this is what I want up here, man. This is going to be fucking badass, you know?
Right. Oh yeah.
And I texted him. He was super cool about it. He goes, man, count me in. Just count me in.
Yeah. Yeah.
And, oh, shit. Look who's here.
Da, da, da. Yeah, what's happening, bro? Yeah.
AJ Vallejo in the house.
Yeah.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
And what I meant by pussy, I meant, do you got a pet cat?
Do I gotta pet my ass? What's up, darling? How you doing? Good.
My sister
Good.
Terry. Hey, Merry Christmas. Hey, are y'all hungry? Y'all want some food?
Oh, shit.
I'm good, man.
Yeah, food run.
Jay, did you bring
Food
the
beer run?
You bring the
Oh, the hot sauce. No, we have hot
Motherfucker.
sauce. Dude.
I still have some of your Reaper sauce in my fridge.
Wait, I don't know if we could talk about it or not. That's why I didn't bring it up.
Ah.
We'll talk about it.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Y'all, do we want to grub?
I'm good, brother. You
Yeah.
get whatever
Yeah,
you
I'm
want,
good,
man.
man.
Knock yourself out.
Yeah.
I'm drinking my dinner.
Yeah.
I'm drinking my dinner. AJ Vallejo in the house.
Yeah.
We were like talking about Overlord.
Oh man.
Big Don for a little bit.
Yeah.
And here I come in with the people.
Where's the pussy?
Well, you
No,
know.
yeah, totally inappropriate because
Well, it's AJ.
shit.
I mean, that's how he rolls.
Yeah.
You over
Man,
Saxon tonight?
Yeah, I just did a thing. Loving Chaos Reds. We do there. It was awesome, great show.
Cool deal.
But I'm here now.
Yeah.
I'm over here now.
Yeah.
I'm here with my homies.
Oh shit!
Yeah,
Well, hey
yeah.
man, thank you for rolling all the way up here. I know
Dude,
it's a little bit of drive.
I mean, without this might possibly the four horsemen we're missing Overlord.
Yeah.
But like,
Yeah.
I mean, you got Push Monkey, Dirty Worms, Vallejo,
Yeah.
Overlord. That was kind of like.
That's right.
I mean, we're talking about like the food
You talking
chain,
about
like you know what I mean, like
Yeah.
you know, like
I remember that day. I remember that day like it was yesterday.
yeah. What's
That's
cool having
crazy.
Tony here was like,
Yeah.
you know, Dwight produced that track and
You came up with the joint.
yeah,
You
well,
know what I'm saying?
I
'Cause
came
you
up with a
called
riff,
me.
but then who
Yeah.
did we? Oh, I think we were.
Yeah, because we was
No,
we
we
was
were-
bouncing around. We was
we
at your studio.
Yeah, but we were talking about Jason McMaster singing the
That's
chorus.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I remember
Yeah.
that now.
I
Yeah.
didn't-
Yeah.
And then he
I-
didn't.
no,
And then
we
he
was
was kind of
tossing
like
around.
he didn't like he didn't seem in. He was like, "What is this again?" And I go,
Yeah.
when he said that, I was like, "Hey man, I got to take this call," and I hung up.
Yeah.
and I love Jason McMaster, and I
yeah.
called, and then we hit up Tony, and Tony was like, "Hell yeah!" Like,
No, because you know what? I think we were really talking about it being more of a posse track.
yeah,
I think, because I remember when you came up with the riff and you was like, yo, where you at? And I'm riding home. He's like, hey, man, you need to come back to the studio right now. I think I wrote one of the best songs I've ever fucking
yeah.
wrote.
But you said, man, I like that, man, that Push Monkey band. What's that boy's name? I go,
Yeah.
it's Tony Park.
I was like, yeah.
That boy's name.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
So for the
that
folks
was-
listening, we're talking about Top of the Food Chain. It was a collaboration with
That's right.
Yeah. 'cause I
Dirty
said we
Worms,
do
Push
every-
Monkey,
Vallejo.
Overlord, Vallejo.
Vallejo.
Yeah.
I mean, like,
You got
superstar
5
track.
bands.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was-
So,
And I'll tell you what, man. That night,
It's still the theme
Yeah.
song for Yellow Rose. Is it
really?
Yeah, if you give her that Yellow Rose.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make you mine. It's like
we'll try to walk in on the down low. Hey man, hey,
That's
what's
fucking
up?
great.
Right.
Hey, like, hey man, we're on the down low. We don't want we don't want anybody.
Yeah.
Here.
low.
Right.
And they're like,
Yeah.
Tony Park, Push Monkey, 31.
I got to tell you though,
Yeah.
man, that when you guys pulled that out over at H2,
Yeah.
at
In
the
February?
reunion show. Yeah.
that was the moment of the night for at least for me.
Yeah.
Because I remember I was at work one day and I was listening to that record, and I'm going, okay, I got Vallejo, got Push Monkey, and I'm listening to the track, and I Facebook, not Facebook Live, but Facebook messaged you, and I'm like, hey man, this is my idea, right? And I don't know if you ever got it or not. And I said, why don't you do that show why don't you do that song at the Push Monkey show? Everybody's gonna be there.
Yeah,
And
you
then-
know what? You hit me with that too. 'cause
Yeah.
everybody wanna be there.
And then
I'm
so it happened. I'm like, cool.
like, yeah.
Well, it was an idea, right?
Oh, yeah,
but,
yeah, yeah.
But we were
Talked
kind of
about it,
we
yeah.
were kind of in the dressing room area.
Yeah.
And it was like smack.
Because I think we talked about even doing something else, like freestyling something.
Yeah, it was like, wait a minute.
It was badass, man. Yeah.
We're
Why
kinda
don't
like,
we do Top of
why-
the Food Chain?
Why in the hell are we not
Right,
going to do
right,
food
why
chain?
no
not-
shit.
Why's this food chain? Y'all
Everybody's
there?
here.
Yeah, because Smack was there too.
Yeah,
So
Yeah.
yeah.
But yeah, man,
Yeah.
it was good to see Smack and just everybody. It was kind of just a reunion of sorts.
it was a
and
great show.
Yeah.
We just got up
yeah.
there and rocked, man. I mean, and then these guys came out like, man, like one of my favorite Austin bands. You guys in Podunk. That's my band.
Yeah.
Of course, Dirty Worms, but I'm a little too close to that because we made that.
Right, you're kind of in that.
Yeah, we're kind of in that. like,
Yeah, exactly.
My
Yeah.
favorite band is the band I made.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Hey, man, I
But,
get that.
A lot of people didn't know they were the band.
Yeah,
And
'cause
was
I used to
like-
wear masks,
Yeah,
right?
they
You
were
could
masks,
hide it.
like-
I'll tell you, man.
Yeah.
Just
Cool.
just looking at this room right now, it's fucking surreal for me, man. It's just, you know what I mean? It's like because
Yeah.
I dreamt up this episode
Oh,
probably,
man.
man, like I don't know, like a year ago.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, what would be cool to do? You know, and thank you so much for doing this. This is so
Sure,
awesome.
man. Congratulations, man, on your
2 years,
2 years,
baby.
man.
2
You're
years.
killing it, right?
Yeah.
Your brother's next week.
Oh gosh.
Oh boy.
Omar.
Omar.
Oh Lord.
Omar and Yayo
Love
are
him.
coming up for
Yeah.
episode
Kiss
1.
guy.
Yeah, I know. Is he like burnt on that yet or?
I don't know, man.
I mean, don't be. That's a
Don't
lot.
be.
Of,
Don't be.
That's
I mean,
take
you
it while you have
take
it.
ride it, man. Like
Right.
And
Yeah.
at the end of the day, probably on his grave, it'll probably say, "Here lies the kiss guy." I mean, like,
Right.
Right.
Yeah,
like,
he
it's
may.
okay.
Otherwise,
He
it
went
would
out
be
with a
kinda
bang with
blank.
it. I know.
I mean, dude, he got massive. It's not it's
Yeah.
worldwide.
Millions.
Yeah,
Oh, it
man.
was like-
it's viral.
yeah.
It's called viral.
We
We
did
all,
the,
we all want the. We're all looking for the viral, and he
Yeah,
got
no
it.
shit,
Like-
yeah.
We did the Bat Fest, and he went on right after us. And there were people coming.
Oh,
up-
Brown Kids.
Yeah, as
Oh,
we
that's
got
a great
as we
band.
got
I love
done,
that band.
There's a bunch of people that kind of came up to the side, like, dude, the Kiss guy, you're the Kiss guy. And I'm like, wow, like it totally connected with people, and
Yeah.
a bunch of people came out just to meet him.
And I'll tell you what, though, man. I don't know if you've seen that band, Brown Kids, yet.
I don't know.
They're a good band.
Really
it's
good.
a 2-piece band, but they
Yeah.
they fucking slay it, man.
Yeah.
Two- You know,
Yeah.
him and
she's
Pearl, yeah.
Pearl's an amazing singer.
And he's
too.
a great drummer too.
Yeah.
I didn't know he was such a great drummer. I had no
Yeah,
idea.
that's a cool. They pull off a lot of work for 2 pieces.
Yeah, but my thing with that was because when it first came down, everybody was like, "Yeah, you need to get him up there." I'm like, "Man, trust me, he's not going to want to come up here. He's got bigger fish to fry right now than this little thing," which is true, right? He's on TV. He's on like radio stations. He's on KLBJ doing commercials for him and stuff. So when Blackheart Saints was up here a couple weeks back, causing hell as they usually do, we got Omar on the phone, and I said, "Man, dude, when am I gonna get you up here? It's been forever, man. We've been talking." And so he goes, "Oh, well, I'll bring Yayo with me." I'm like, "Cool." So we set a date, and here we go.
That's
so
awesome.
But my
what's
thing
up.
with that is, I mean, the Kiss guy thing is great. It's wonderful, but man, I wanted him up here as a musician because he's such a great guitar player. He's
So
such
great.
so
Yeah.
great, and I don't want to harp on the
Sure,
Kiss guy thing forever.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
Right.
like it's been
Yeah.
done and burnt out.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
like
you gotta change the lane on that.
yeah,
Yeah.
so we're gonna get him up here and just have a good time. 2 of them. I mean,
Yeah.
might be the last show. Who knows?
What? Hey, man, I gotta say the room looks great, man.
Thanks, man. I
Yeah.
appreciate it.
Oh,
I thought
yeah.
you'd appreciate that right there. So
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the Ouija board.
I mean, there I come walking into the.
it's really funny. It's really funny with that because this girl Rachel that helped me put this room together, she did a lot of like the little ornaments and stuff that I haven't put up yet, but she does like nativity in black if you can see it over there. So, anyways, she brought all this stuff up, but it was wrapped up in that. So she was using that like as just a wrapping paper.
Oh wow.
You
So
were
you're
like, hey,
can we
put
hang
that
that?
up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so anyways, I'm like, so I pull it up. I'm like, this is fucking cool.
Right.
I said, well, if AJ doesn't steal it first.
Yeah,
And so I took it and hung it up. So
Yeah, that's-
better.
It's funny, and this may be a weird story, but it's also dumb. It's things that Vallejo did on the road.
Yeah.
A friend of mine.
That's a great intro.
I have to preface it with Vallejo so people don't. It's not on me. But we were in a hotel room and some guy broke out one of those out, and it was like, hey. Hey, let's summon like our grandpa or something, and then of course Omar's like,
Yeah.
let's summon a dead hooker. We're like,
That
we're
sounds
like,
like him.
oh, hookers, hookers, dead hookers, if you're out there.
Right.
I'm sure there's a few, more than a few that are want to talk to Omar.
What
Yeah.
happened?
No, dude, so we're like,
What happened?
So our one of our crew guys, Duff. I don't even remember Duff, the door guy, at Steamboat. He was our
Right.
guitar tech. We were like dumb shit, like, would you fuck Duff? No.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. So yeah, that's my Ouija
Yeah.
board
It's
story.
crazy.
Well,
It
that's
sounds.
a-
I never
I'm
played
super-
it, but I want to play it. It's like I want to
I
try.
don't know,
it.
man.
Dude,
That-
it's weird, man, because like I don't know whether it's in your head or
Yeah.
something, but
I
like
don't know.
you feel like this pull and it's really strange. And you're
Yeah.
kind of like, but there's everybody's doing it.
Right.
Everybody's got their hand on it.
Yeah.
So you're wondering like, is
Is
somebody?
it just kind of communal thing?
Is it a
Yeah.
communal? Like, are we like all
Just
moving
leaning
together?
Yeah.
But
I
you,
just want to try to see if
you
it's
feel,
real.
it's weird because
I
you
don't
there
know.
you
Yeah.
do feel.
Well, it's made by Parker Brothers, so
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
so
right.
Look,
Those
feel
old
something.
school
this is
ones.
the thing back when I was coming up as a kid. I was like, I was just kind of a little fearless of everything, and then people used to be like, "Yo, go in the bathroom and yell Bloody Mary and see what happens 3
Right,
times."
right,
I
right.
do that shit, Bloody Mary, Bloody Mary, Bloody motherfucking Mary, and then act like come out the fucking bathroom and be
Scary.
like scared and
It's a
scared
Candyman
about
5
everybody
times.
running and shit. I'm like, where the fuck y'all going, man? There ain't nothing happened to me.
Yeah.
I ain't see shit in the motherfucking mirror. Ain't no motherfucking Bloody Mary. Y'all some scary motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Fuck y'all.
Yeah.
This ain't real.
Or like, what's a movie back in the 80s? Candyman? Was it Candyman?
Yeah,
Say Candyman 5
I did all
times.
that shit. You say
Yeah,
all
that's
that,
the
whatever to say. I tried all that shit just to see if it happened.
You like to
Run
dare?
the
You like to
backyard.
dare it?
Yeah.
How dare you, spirits?
I dare. Okay, let's do it.
I dare you, spirits.
Yeah.
It was funny when I grew up in Connecticut. You know,
I'm kind of the same way. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I don't like. I don't,
It ain't just
I,
you.
I don't fuck with all that shit. I'm just, you know. It's funny because I got a Ouija board right there, but I have 2 Santeria candles here for the spirits.
Yeah.
Seriously, it's for 4, man.
Okay.
You're
gotta wipe-
open-minded.
You gotta
know,
wipe
whatever
the shit
side.
out, man. You never know what's lurking
Yeah.
around. I might be on an Indian burial ground or something up here.
You're open-minded spiritualist.
Hey, you know. No, but when I was growing up, my mother had this friend, which has passed recently. Full-blood Italian off the boat. They're called their names are the Riccios, and Terry was, you know, the mother, and she used to read cards.
Tarot.
I don't know if they were tarot. Might have been,
Uno?
but old school Italian shit. So I mean, you know, it's
Bunko.
yeah, might one of those.
Go figure.
So I remember, you know, back in the day when she'd be reading my mother's cards, and you know, you see that death card pop up, bam. Next week, my grandfather died. You know, and that, you know, just really, she would have her shit down. You know what I mean? So I always wanted her to read my cards, but she never would because, you know, you're too young. Da 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 da. And so when I went back up for my high school reunion, you know, I had Thanksgiving dinner with her, and she goes, "I'll read your cards," and for some reason we never got to it, and she passed right after that. So
Wow.
I always wanted to get them done because I mean a lot of that shit's hokey as shit. Because I mean even in Austin you would go drive by those
Oh, yeah.
windows,
Yeah.
tarot readings and you know
Yeah.
whatever. Yeah.
So I'm gonna tell you right now. I know it's bunk, and here's why. Because I've had my cards read 3 times, and all 3 times they said it got like whatever the fortune card is,
Right,
whatever.
yeah, like
and
you
all
get
3
something.
times they, man, you're gonna be super rich.
Yeah.
Hey, you were
Yeah.
close.
Hey,
Yeah.
I'm living proof that's bullshit.
Yeah, right. They just want you making them rich because they getting your money every time you pay
I think
them.
that's
Hey,
why
man,
they
you
said
got
that.
the
'cause they
t-shirt
wanted
on
to-
us, man. What's up? Break them out.
It's for the hot sauce,
Dude,
yo.
oh, God.
That's
and
why I brought him, man.
Oh, God.
Son of a bitch. We talk about that.
All right, well, yeah, man, I got the Reaper sauce going, and you're growing peppers, and I forgot it because I had rushed into my gig, but
That's cool. It's cool.
we're going to bring you some sauce. I know, you guys down with the hot sauce?
Yeah, yeah.
Fuck, I love it.
That was my sauce.
to some degree.
I love it. I love
you
it
know,
right
I
now
don't like it
because
really.
It's pretty hot.
I've got
It's
some
kinda hot.
Reaper sauce
Yeah.
that he gave me. It's still in my fridge.
that I
Yeah.
made, yeah.
Yeah.
And I put
Is
it
it made,
a little
did you
bit
blend it with
on
anything,
stuff.
or no, just straight up
Well,
Reaper?
that had sugar and
I added a couple little things, but each little jar had 1 Reaper in it. You mix
Okay.
it up, and it was
That's a lot.
yeah.
it wasn't as
It wasn't as hot as what I thought it
yeah,
would
my
be.
guitar player Danny ate a Reaper straight that he
Oh,
brought
yeah,
to
yeah,
a
yeah.
show.
And he
That's
was
on, That's
dying.
on video.
He was
and that
dying.
Yeah, that's hardcore.
kicked
That's
his
like-
ass.
Which is really cool right now is my plants outside. They're probably like this by like this because of the rain. And now it's cooling down. They're all little peppers everywhere. So I'm going to have a good crop.
Ooh, I
come.
love that. And the pepper, that pepper is actually has a. If you smell it, it's floral.
It's like sweet. Yeah. if you
Sweet
taste
and
it, it's
I
very
floral.
will
sweet.
tell you, it's a little too hot to handle, but it's a great flavor.
It's a great
Like,
flavor.
I put
Yeah.
a little bit like
Yeah.
on a breakfast taco or whatever, and
It's
it's
hot
wish
in
I wish-
Habanero.
it's
Oh,
hot.
no, it's the hottest
like-
pepper on the
like a
planet
I can't
right
wait
now.
for y'all.
a
I
million
wish I would have brought
times
my bottle,
hotter.
but I can't wait for y'all to taste it because
It's like-
it's good. It's a good.
yeah.
I'm not
hotter
saying
than a
it 'cause
ghost pepper, and a
For
ghost
real?
pepper is the hottest.
Yeah,
pepper
for the cat, what do you call for the
Scoville
the
unit.
Scoville unit. I think a habanero is like 300,000, and then a ghost pepper is probably like it's like a million.
I think
Right
the
around a million?
Reapers are
Damn.
somewhere around 5, 4,
No,
5
no,
or hotter.
Reaper is 1.5 million to 2.2
Oh,
million.
okay.
And there's
More.
something above. Well, now the Reapers, the people, because it's not a natural pepper.
It's a
It's
hybrid, yeah.
It's a
Yeah,
hybrid.
yeah.
But so now the guy that made the hybrid, he made a chocolate Reaper. He made an orange Reaper. He's got of course the red one. They're all around the same.
millions
Yeah.
though.
Millions.
compared
They're all
to
around the same heat level, but they have different flavors and stuff.
Yeah.
It's
Wow.
just crazy how they can.
Okay, so
Good
you're
stuff.
a pepper guy. So
Oh
tell
yeah, I
me
love
this.
it, love it.
How here's what I can jalapenos. Some of them
Are hot as hell, and some of them
nothing.
aren't.
Some of them are easily as hot as what seems like a Reaper is.
Yeah, yeah.
What is that all about? Because they get rated low, And I'm like, no, I've eaten a jalapeno.
Well,
that
I can tell you
my ass.
a little bit about that. When you're at HEB, if you look at a jalapeno pepper, and it has the little dried veins where it looks like it's dried, that's a hot pepper. If it doesn't have that,
Really
it's not hot.
hot.
Yeah, it's really hot, and that's I don't know. It's something about the veins and the seeds. But if you ever look at a pepper and it has that, that's a hot pepper. If it doesn't have it, it's not hot.
The thing, and the thing,
I found that out the hard way.
yeah, the thing about it, but the thing about a jalapeno, it's the heat isn't really in the pepper itself; it's in the seeds. Yeah. So it's not in the meat; it's in the seed part of it. So you start chomp. If you like hollow out a jalapeno, there will be a little. There will be some. There will
take umbrage with that.
There will be some heat, but it's not the heat of like a habanero. That's that's in the meat of it.
Everything, yeah.
Yeah, those are my
But
favorite.
I'm saying
Habanero's
I've taken some meat out of some stuff, the seeds out, and it still was hot.
I've had a jalapeno kick my ass.
Oh yeah, me too. I'm not even. Yeah, I had a couple. Like, what the hell are these?
Like,
damn
it's
things?
the most erratic pepper.
Oh, yeah.
the habanero.
That's a good way to put it because the Reaper's it's straight up
It's
hot.
gonna
Like,
kick
Oh yeah,
your
the
ass.
Reaper is
Yeah.
like it's just because I ate one off my plant. I only had a couple, 2, 3 in the first part of the season.
You eat them straight?
Yeah, I ate one. Fuck man,
that's
brutal.
kind of why. That's funny you say that because when we were doing the recipe for the sauce, the jalapeno we started with it being just blackened jalapenos and the other ingredients that are in there, and it was because it was so erratic. You can have one batch of sauce be not hot because whatever batch you bought, So the Reaper came in one because I love the floral after thing. But the Reaper guaranteed that it was going to be
paid for.
brutal.
Yeah. So like, 'cause I couldn't have like a batch go out and people are like, man, that's some pussy ass. It has to kick
to have
ass
the heat.
all times. So that's why I put the Reaper in there.
So
what are you doing? Are you doing your own?
Yeah. Let me see. I wish I'd have brought it, man. But here I'm going to show you some pictures.
Balling up and selling it.
he's got.
Dude, he's always into so many things.
I know that's what I'm talking about.
He's a master.
He's
of
like
that.
the James Brown of the Austin music scene. This guy.
Hey, one of these days I want
Got
to
my
do
hands in
like
everything.
Dude, I don't know how
I want to do a cooking show with him. I don't know what it's like
What you gonna make?
some street shit. I don't know.
Street shit.
Well, what I
we'll
could
come with a recipe. With
I'd like to
some
be a
street-
part of that,
street
and
recipe.
I can be the eating guy.
Okay, that'd be great.
So I'm good at that.
Yeah. I don't know.
Let's see here.
Something really easy and street. That's what I'm
So
saying.
I mean,
Right.
if I could dive into that just for a little bit, I mean, so of course you come up with the idea of it, but I mean, who do you go to make a sauce?
My buddy, so we can. Where's your camera?
Over there,
You
buddy.
guys can see it. See, there's the bottles already bottled
Oh
up.
yeah, that's nice.
So the bottles already bottled up. There's
Yeah.
the logo. This is my buddy Mike B. He bottles in Georgia, but I don't know if you see Mike B's hot sauces and stuff like that, but he's the one that he has a bottling thing, and you can kind of go into with him. But yeah, if you want to put it up there so they can see it.
Reaper.
Yeah, there's the bottle. Pre-orders now. AJVallejo.com.
Damn,
Yeah.
But yeah,
dude, I don't know how you do it, man, because it's.
Well, you gotta
You
always
must have. Do I
your
got a
hand
clone
on it.
somewhere or something? You got like 2 you running
Man,
around?
It's just a lot of cocaine.
Yeah,
Is that what it is? The
I just-
cocaine
that
strippers?
terrible ADD, like just like I'm like literally like I bore myself, so I'm just like
It's
okay, I gotta put my hands
it's
on.
it's funny. I'm on like full thrusters up here all the time. But then I look at him and I feel like I'm lazy. I swear to. I mean, it's like one day. Okay, because you came up with first time you came up was for Love Song for Dummies, and then it seemed like a week later you had the Purple album.
Yeah,
Then like a week later after that you had the Spanish album.
Yeah,
And then you're producing Deanna's record, and then you're doing videos, and then you're recording some other. I mean, I'm like,
that's
what
just,
the hell's
my
going
job.
on?
That's my job.
Oh,
I'm a producer.
yeah. But he's always got something going on. Always, it's like, God, man, I don't know how you do it.
Yeah, it seems like that, but like if you work every day, I mean,
Right.
like
Right.
I'm working on a Latin pop chick. Her name's Leslie Renaga, and she's phenomenal. So that's what I did today. So tomorrow I'm gonna do something else, and it looks like I'm doing a lot, but every day I wake up and I will.
And the fruit kind of it bears fruit.
Yeah,
When
that's the
it
thing. Yeah, it's
does.
awesome, man.
So they can all bear fruit around the same time.
Yeah.
But he's
Yeah.
probably been working on that for 6 months or
Yeah.
a
Right.
number of these
Right.
things for a
Right.
long
Yeah,
time.
it sounds like a lot. And yeah,
all of a
I'm
sudden it all
doing a
comes
lot,
together.
but every
Yeah.
day, Where most people are like, I'm going to do this for a bit and then I'm going to take a week off. But I don't do that.
I know, yeah.
Yeah, I don't take a week off.
That's the thing with this because if I'm not like this is the fluff part of it. It
Yeah.
really is because I
yeah.
mean like my fingers
That's
are
the truth.
It is. This is the fluff. I mean, it's the social media. It's like booking the guests. It's like trying to schedule things. It's all the other stuff.
Work, and getting it out there. And,
getting it out there, and I mean, and now I've got my hands on other stuff now, which I'm kind of working on. Or I'm gonna probably announce a little later, which is very cool stuff. So, but man, you're an inspiration. You really are. I mean,
thanks.
for the younger guys because
For the older guys.
well, the older guys too.
That too.
No,
I
but
mean,
but what do you call it? The thing is that I stress on here all the time is for what I see right now. It's like the old school guys like us that the work ethic is crazy. I mean, I'm not saying it wasn't that way in the old days, but you see so much cool stuff coming from our generation now.
more,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, a lot of it has to do with
natural.
what even Crash does, and even the Smack does, and
Yeah.
what even Ovi did. Like, we kind of have to hustle harder because, to stay,
To stay
if not, we'll
relevant.
just disappear because
stay
now,
relevant.
back in the day, we could put an album out and ride that thing. We know,
Right.
like,
It's a whole
we could
different
ride that
animal
for a
right now.
year.
Right.
Yeah.
We go
Let
on
other
tour.
people work
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
And just kind of roll.
Yeah, we could ride a record for a year, go on tour, put a single out every 3 weeks or 3 months. Now it's like with cell phones, everything's so saturated.
Yeah, it's just-
It's the information.
Well,
and they
everybody
want-
has.
How do you
ADD.
cut through the noise?
Yeah.
Right.
Now,
Yeah.
dude, now you put an album out a week later, it's old. I mean,
That's
like,
right.
it's like-
Yeah.
It's like, what's
Yeah.
next?
yeah.
Right.
So it's like
Yeah.
it's weird, man. So like just the way the speed of the way people want their information and the way
Some
that
kids
it's
don't
fed to
even
them.
listen to the songs all the way through.
Well,
You know what I
and
mean? So-
totally, and that's why again the whole 333 thing. We don't release albums anymore.
Yeah.
we just do
Yeah,
3
a
songs.
lot of people don't.
Yeah,
we just do
or
threesers.
singles. Or, 3 songs,
Threesers,
singles.
three, the
whatever.
whole 3 thing helps, but it's 3 at a time. That way you get you get a little taste, move on because
Yeah.
you forgot about it a month later.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's weird because everybody. It's back in the old days it was 33s was albums. Now it's a thing where everybody's got a different way of doing it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Some people are singles, some people are EPs, some people are 3 songs, some people's got full albums. I mean, there's people are releasing double albums. It's like it's crazy.
Yeah.
You just don't know.
The playing field is so vast right now.
Yeah.
You could do anything and everything, and then not only that, the game is so saturated.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I know.
You got 50 years of music, and if it's all hot till this day, you got Beatles, Rolling Stones, whoever's still living is still playing.
Yeah.
Right,
George
plus the
Clinton,
new
You know what I'm
guys.
saying? And then you got to get.
But back then, the major players like the labels and the majors, they could dictate how things were released and what was coming out. They could stretch that stuff
That's
out.
it.
Oh yeah.
Now they can't do
Yeah,
that
now they
anymore.
can't
Now
do-
it's like
yeah.
a kid with a freaking laptop and a fucking
Oh yeah.
Can release a
garage
song.
band
Right.
Yeah.
can put out an album. It's like
Yeah, it's the same concept. Really.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
and now
Like
we're
saying-
back. Yeah, now we're back to the age of singles, which that's how the record industry started.
I
Exactly.
mean, that's been a thing I
in the
talk about a
50s,
lot,
yeah.
and I kind of actually like that we've gone back to the beginning. People
Yeah.
complain, we don't have albums. Well, record labels made album listening a requirement because they
That's how they
marketed
made
and
money,
wanted
yeah.
you
Yeah.
to buy the whole record,
Right,
right?
right.
That's how they made.
You could make
money.
money off singles,
Right,
Yeah.
but originally when music started and became popular, like Elvis, Beatles, like they
Top
were
45s, yeah.
right.
Yeah.
It was
Top 40,
yeah, and flip sides. You got 2 songs tops.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
the
yeah.
second one was throwaway.
Yeah.
Right.
It was really for the
It was
first.
terrible.
the
isn't it?
B-side.
Yeah.
But and then the way the albums came out during the holidays, which is still a thing.
Oh yeah.
Like James Brown would put out 8
Oh, yeah.
singles, and they were all hits. And then for Christmas, it would be James Brown's greatest hits, and that's how albums started because it was basically just a collection of all their singles, But nobody would release a freaking album back in the day. It was like that was murder. I mean, it's like
Yeah, it was too
But
much.
that's how they stretched it out anyway. You know what I'm saying? You can come out with an album, but I guarantee you at least 4 of those singles will get played at least
yeah,
over the 2 years. You know what I'm saying? They will release a video or a single and it hit the charts, and then, you know what I'm saying? Then that prolongs.
No,
on the
you're
album.
right. It did last.
Yeah.
And nowadays
Yeah.
it doesn't last like.
and
like
the
it
one that
used
I think
to.
kind of the past 10 years it kind of maybe got the jump on the single game was 50 Cent started putting out singles, and then like
Yeah.
when his album came out, there was
Right.
already 4 hits on it. I mean,
Right,
like,
exactly.
I mean,
Yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah.
remember that? I mean,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah, it
Yeah.
helped carry the
Yeah.
rest of it.
Well, that's
Yeah.
that's the anticipation. You play
Mhm.
the game, the anticipation game. It was like, I can't wait till the album come out, and the people gonna be like, man, when you gonna come out with the album? You got all these joints. When you gonna come out with the album?
Yeah.
And then you finally just say, all right, the album has already been cut. It's just that they're just
they were sitting on it,
they're just
releasing
sitting on
stuff.
it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like I said, the game is
wide
so
open
wide
now.
open.
Yeah, then you
now.
got Beyonce who just drops a record out of
Right.
the sky and
Yeah.
doesn't promote it.
Right.
I mean, just like you're like,
Yeah, Eminem,
one minute
he
you're
did the
like, is
same
there a
thing.
Beyonce album? Like,
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it was like when Bowie like released his last record. It was like, or one of his last records. He just dropped it. No one even knew it was coming.
Right.
Boom, there you
Right.
go. Here's
Right.
a record.
Yeah, so now
Well,
there's really no formula anymore.
Right.
You know?
Because the thing is that, it would take you a while to get the music back in the day. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There was sometimes you couldn't get the record for like 3 months. You know what I mean? So nowadays with social media, all you just push
I
the
know.
button. You know what I mean? You remember back in the day, it's like if you didn't have that, like me as a DJ, if I didn't have that single, then I wasn't shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I had to make sure I had all the singles. So I would go either buy them or go to the record pool or whatever and have those singles. You know what I mean? Because that's what people want to hear, especially when they request, like, you ain't got that song? Yada, yada. And it's like, I ain't got it, man. You know what I mean? And it's going to take me months to get it because, coming from wherever, Cali or New York, it's like it's going to take a minute to get to Texas. So, you know what I mean?
And
so,
now everything's at your fingertips pretty
right,
much.
yeah. So,
That's the
shit
whole
like
thing
that.
for me, man. Because I
Yes.
remember, we're all about the same age. I remember as a kid, that was part of the awesome thing of like ordering imports. Shit, you couldn't find it. It's
Right.
like, you would
Yeah.
wait 4 or
Yeah.
5 weeks
Yeah.
for it, and you get it, and
Oh,
you're
yeah.
like,
Yeah, there's something to that though.
yeah.
Like
Yeah.
being the one guy that could get something that no one else
Right, no
had.
one else
Yeah,
had.
I remember like being a Kiss junkie back in like when I was 10 or 12 years old, or
Yeah, with the few back pages of like Circus or something,
Yeah.
they'd have the pages you could order
Right.
like Rough Cut live in Japan or something
Yeah.
like that.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
bootlegs.
Yeah.
No, but-
$8.99.
well, because that was the thing, because back in the day, I had a buddy that owned a record shop, and he could go into these other distributors and get all this stuff. It was super expensive, but you could get it.
Yeah.
And it
Oh,
was,
yeah.
it was like just the thrill, the chase to find this stuff. And now it's just like, it's like, you go to YouTube, bam, bam, Kiss Japan 77, bam,
Yeah,
there it
it's
is.
all
Right,
there. It's
yeah,
all
you can
there,
just
yeah.
order-
Yeah.
yeah. I remember I went to the record stores and I would go see albums, and it would just be a clear package, but the album was a picture, like Purple Rain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The whole joint was Prince's picture. It wasn't
Like a
wasn't
picture disc
You
kind
mean,
of
you
thing?
mean on the
the
vinyl?
whole,
Yeah.
on the vinyl.
Yeah, that was cool. Yeah.
And that was cool as shit. So it was like that, and a few other bands that was hot back in those days. And I'm so pissed that I didn't get all those when I saw them.
Yeah.
Living in England, and it's like, fuck, man. I mean, I would have kept them anyway, but just knowing the word
Get the value of
of
it.
just
Yeah.
knowing to have
I had a
that.
bunch
I
of
think
those.
a lot of it has to do with the internet, which is kind of like back when we started, the internet wasn't around.
Right.
You mean?
right.
And I was talking to Johnny about this today, and I know not to get too deep and weird and heavy, but like
It's all right.
you go to Revelations, like the Bible,
Yeah, yeah.
like they talk about the numbers and the number of the beast, like.
yeah.
And now we're in this digital age. Like a picture used to be, here's a picture, paper. We were like, oh, look at that picture. We Polaroids.
Yeah, yeah.
But now everything is digital, and it's all
Right.
If it's digital, what does that
Yeah,
mean? It's
yeah.
digital is all numbers.
Numbers,
Like
yeah.
Ones
so
and
now
zeros.
we're me and him were all like high, going like, is the number of the beast? is it
One,
the
zero,
internet?
one.
Like because the Bible,
yeah.
they didn't
Yeah.
they didn't know there
Yeah.
was no internet
Right,
coming. Like
right.
the Bible's like,
Well,
and not to get in, because we were like listening to Iron Maiden and stuff. And like we were like, is the internet? Is the
Satan?
internet?
it's the coded part.
Is
you
that
know
the
what
end?
I'm
Is
saying?
that is that the number of the beast? I mean, like,
Hey, like you say, the first shall be last,
Make a good point,
and the
though.
last shall be first. That's the same kind of deal. Where
Yeah.
I say we living in that age.
yeah.
So you know what I mean. So yeah, the mark of the beast or whatever, the number of the beast or whatever, it's here. We've been playing with it.
But
for
the
all this
internet,
time,
but
but
yeah,
we
you're
just-
right. And the
yeah.
internet is bigger than us. Like, if the internet shuts down right now, like
Right.
right now,
Oh,
if it
we're
just-
done.
We're
Right.
done.
Yeah,
As,
we're fucking
as a
done, yeah.
civilization, we're back to like freaking like hitting rocks,
Caveman.
starting
Yeah.
fires with
All
rocks. Like,
primitive, yeah.
like I mean,
Yeah.
we're talking about ATMs, no cash, no anything. Can't
That's
you know
true.
nothing. Like,
Yeah, everything
that's
is
true.
internet based.
Right.
Everything.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And because we've wiped it out like that. We're like, we've wiped out the machines that aren't internet based, like
Right.
a pinball machine. I was like,
Yeah.
you might be able to play pinball, but that's why.
Yeah, but you won't be
Right.
you won't be able
Yeah.
to because the power grids are run by fucking internet
Yeah,
too. So you're
exactly.
fucked.
You can't put a quarter in it because you can't get an ATM. Like, oh, fuck.
Because it's run by power. So
That's why I like my grandma because she still knows how to make jelly.
Exactly. Exactly.
You know what?
Hey, that's what I'm
That's,
saying.
and that's if the
Yeah.
internet
Grandma
goes
Park
out.
making jelly.
Yeah.
If the internet
Jelly.
goes out, I'm going to your grandma's house.
Exactly.
What kind of
Hey,
jelly she
that's
make?
why I tell these kids now, learn how to do
Muscadine.
this shit,
Oh,
learn how to
shit.
build, learn how to
Muscadine
grow,
jelly.
learn how to do
Yeah.
all this stuff. So you never know when all this shit goes out, like that little Y2K scare, whatever.
Yeah.
You can
Oh,
just say, fuck it, if shit burned down, I'll just start all over again. I ain't tripping. You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
yeah.
But now, you got people crying like, oh my, kids are just I mean, vandalizing their houses just because
But
their
that's-
mom take the fucking phone away.
Yeah, but
You know
that's going back to like how the music and how it's promoted and how it's how it's kind of like marketed like before the internet. When we all started the game, like there was no internet. It was like there was a
We're
team
used
of
to
people. There was a team of people that dictated how we listen to music. And
Yeah.
if they said this shitty song is "I'm Too Sexy for My
gonna be
Hat"
number
is
one.
fucking gonna be the
Yeah,
shit,
yeah.
they made it.
They made it.
They made it a hit. You know,
Yeah.
it's like
MTV.
yeah,
Push that shit.
yeah, and it's
Oh,
like now they don't have that control anymore. It's basically what
Which, in a
Right.
way, is a good thing, right? Because
yeah,
it's a true freedom, right? Because if your shit's really good, it'll catch.
It'll catch. Yeah.
Yeah.
If it's not, and that's okay. I mean, I write a lot of bad songs. I write a lot of good songs. That's okay.
Yeah.
Right. It's the good ones that catch. That's what's going to matter. And someday I'll write one that actually catches.
we
You
Sometimes-
have that one
Hey,
song.
all you
one
got-
song.
sometimes you
we're
gotta
all,
write a
dude, we're all
single.
one hit away from that.
Yeah,
so
That's
exactly.
it.
Yeah.
Being the Kiss guy.
being the Kiss guy.
Sometimes
moment.
Sometimes
Hey,
it
so
be that
you
One
got-
moment in
song.
time.
So I want to try. Do you have any of your Reaper stuff laying around? I want to try that.
No, I don't have any.
Like,
I will though here in a little bit.
I want
I
to.
got some at the house.
Well, the thing is, with the pep,
I want Crash. Yeah, I want to see him. I want to see him.
With
with the
suffer.
with the peppers is
I'm black, man. I ain't got. we ain't used to that, man.
had
We just kind of like that's why
don't
we
have
do
that
the
in Soul Food?
challenges on the fucking internet.
I had like 3 Reapers, and maybe about a month ago, and I had to pick them and use them because they're the kind of pepper that don't stay too hard too long.
Yeah,
So you got to use them up. If you don't, they're just
yeah.
And I ate one of them. Ooh, Jesus.
That's why I was smack when I was
Oh,
come
yeah.
to the
We
house
used
and
to
be like,
come to
hey
his
man,
house
you
all
want
the time.
hey man, you want some of this? We have we make some of course
Yeah.
Mexican food that's
Every
spicy.
Sunday
Yeah,
we'll be over his house.
He'd always say the same thing. Man, I'm too far away from my house to be eating that. Smack's a real. He's
real.
He's a funny character. Like he don't like to use like that number. Like he don't like to do number 2 like other than at his
Oh
house.
yeah, his house.
Like he
yeah.
don't like he.
So like
I
the
don't
guy
give
from
a
American
fuck.
Pie or
Like, I
something.
don't
like
give
that.
a damn.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he don't
yeah.
like. He's got
He
this
acts like-
phobia about like he's
Yeah.
got to be at his house. Like he don't want to do that shit. So
He
he
probably
won't
like
eat
them dudes that-
anything
Right.
while he's away from his
Well, that's
house
crazy.
that might cause
Yeah.
him to do that.
Right.
I'm outing him. Sorry, Smack, but
I'm good, bro. I out his ass because yeah, he probably one of the dudes that like to just get butt naked and shit. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? That's just people that's like that. You know what I'm saying?
Butt naked and shit.
Yeah, like man, and there's people like that. Like, nah, I got to take all my shit off. So I
Wow.
got to be comfortable.
and, I got some friends like that.
I
never
mean,
did
whatever
that
it is, I
before.
don't give a
Yeah, I
shit.
walk in, I'm like, man, what are you doing? It's like, you're in the bathroom, you're butt naked. Man,
butt
taking a
naked
shit.
as
Like,
shit.
right? I'm taking a shit.
I'm
Why
gonna have
are
to
you-
try. I
I
don't think
mean,
I've ever done that.
you
I
took
don't
your,
think so either.
I mean, they take their socks and everything off,
Yeah,
right?
they're
They
taking
just-
everything
like,
off. Yeah, because they either want to take a shower right after. Or I don't know. It's whatever their method. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Everybody
Whatever
got their
floats
way.
your boat,
Yeah,
man.
I
whatever
don't know,
rides your
man.
trike.
I think I've done it a couple times before the shower or something. Maybe I don't know if I've ever done it just to do it. I mean, we're butt naked, take a shit. I don't know. I've never.
We should all just go home and try that.
I'm home.
Tonight's the night.
I'm gonna
Tonight's
try
tonight.
it. I'm gonna try it tonight.
Just know, 2 hours, 3 hours from now,
Right.
I'm gonna be naked
Yeah.
in my bathroom.
Right.
Put your VR goggles on.
Well, and other now folks are gonna go. I might have to try that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We might,
Yeah,
we
if
might start a
AJ
thing.
Vallejo's gonna do it, I'm gonna try
Hey,
myself.
dude, we might start a thing.
Hey, that could be a new thing. Hey, so I mean, when it comes to like the music industry as a whole, down, I'm kind of curious to get your take on this because
Yeah,
you guys.
you got some history here. We might be able to tell
That's
you.
what
we
I'm
might
saying.
be able to tell
I
you
think
a
with all
thing.
of them,
Let me give you some bad
and
advice.
I'll tell you what, I usually have an answer on everything, as you know, and this one I'm clueless on. But I mean, where do you see like the industry, like in say 5 years or 10 years down the road, when it comes to, is it going to like go back to? Will it go back to the beginning, like where it starts off as singles and it starts, like it did in the 50s on up to now? I mean, or is it just going to go buck wild and just be crazy like it is now?
Here's the thing: you cannot, and this is where you will always fail if you chase pop culture.
Yeah,
You cannot chase
Yeah.
pop culture, or you're going to be tomorrow's yesterday.
right.
Exactly.
Does that make
Right.
sense?
Right.
Right? That's kind of a weird way to say it, but
I know exactly what
you'll
you're
be
saying.
tomorrow's yesterday if you chase pop culture.
Right, right.
All you can do as an artist is do what you do.
Exactly.
Be who
Exactly.
you are.
Yeah.
Right?
That's
Have
true.
fun
Like
doing it.
Don,
Yeah.
fucking do what you do.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Be who you are, do what you do, make the
Right.
best thing, make you put your love into your art and put it out there. Now there's a lot of ways to put it out there. You got YouTube. There's all kinds of Facebook, YouTube. Right, you can be your own label.
Yeah.
Really.
Well, there's
anymore.
so many different lifestyles.
Be you,
know?
and if you get it, you get it. If you don't, you don't.
Because there's so many, like he's saying, there's so many different lifestyles. You might still want to have your 50s music. So you got a culture of people that drive those old cars and dress like the 50s. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so if you like
That's
that
gonna last
kind of
forever.
shit, and and people who, even like those young cats who don't grow, they grow into that. You know what I mean? They might be 27 years old, but they look like they're in the 50s and they drive an old car. But everybody wants their music either from a jam box or a Walkman or a record or a CD or MP3, and you can't change that.
Yeah.
So that's like saying with the record that we did. We just kept it 90s style. We didn't want to veer that's not our lane to go to the new shit. That's what they're doing. That auto tune. We can't do that.
Yeah.
That's not where we come from. So
Yeah.
we keep it like how we do it, and it feels good to us, and it feels good to the.
I remember
people who like that. You know what I mean?
I remember Don talking about that when he was up here.
Yeah.
About he just wanted to take it back the way you guys did it, like 95 or whatever. Just
now. What I mean?
Yeah.
So
I mean, I think from a physical aspect, I think we're
that too.
five years away from seeing the end of CDs. I think CDs.
CDs are gone now.
Yeah, but I'm saying the only reason they're still around is because, and I say this proudly because I'm Mexican, but Mexicans are still buying CDs because they don't.
You can
I
hand
must be
them.
Mexican then.
They're not hip to the
Right.
technology that is iTunes or all this stuff that's like is
They
making
like to collect.
it's
like
made,
collectibles.
and smartphones and internet and all that has made music more accessible, and it's
Totally, yeah.
Right. We got things like Shazam. Oh, I like that song. Boom.
Exactly.
Buy.
Oh, yeah.
Like I
Right.
can
Buy it.
immediately
You can buy the song.
like
You can buy
it
it.
and buy it, and it's in my phone, and I got it. It's not like, oh, I really like that. What's the name of that band? I don't know. I guess I gotta wait till
Yeah.
somebody tells me. Then I gotta go
Right.
to freaking Walmart
Right.
and pay $17.99 for a CD. Like, no,
Right.
it's like that doesn't happen. Like,
Yeah.
so
true.
I think the CDs are kind of like they, like you're saying, they're already out. Like, I don't know when the last CD I actually bought at a store. He's saying like live shows, get people to sign them.
Right.
That's kind of why they're probably still here.
Yeah.
But
something you can actually hold on to.
Right.
But I think
like
once
It could be anything.
the generation of the younger generation that we grew up by cassette. We like the way it smelled, and we go.
No, I know.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It smelled. I had this weird plasticky, like
Yeah.
it smelled like kind of like tacos and plastic. I don't know what that smell was. Like you'd open up the thing and it was Motley Crue, Theater Pain. You read all the lyrics, and I knew who Neil Zlauer was.
Yeah,
I knew who
exactly.
Aquafers were. Like,
Yeah.
I knew everything.
Right.
I knew like the playmakers and
It
the
educated us
engineers
too.
and-
Like I'm saying, it educated us when it came to certain
Yeah.
records. So, and you can
It was
you can almost tell who was the producer on certain records,
Yeah.
Right.
and you can almost before you can call it how you can see it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like back in the day,
You
we
could
would
even
play
hear
Name
it
of
and
the
be like,
Tune.
that's that dude.
Yeah, that's
Like a Bo Hill record.
Yeah,
you know, when
that's you know what I'm
all
saying.
the
That,
rap
that's
records and
that's Willie
Kicks and-
Mitchell producing, or
Yeah.
that's a Isaac Hayes production. You can or
Yeah.
Hamlin.
Yeah.
Goff. You can almost hear the style of production.
Yeah, and
You
I
know what
think
I'm saying?
these the new generation that is
Yeah.
grown up to iTunes and Spotify, they don't care about
They don't care about that.
artwork or
I
liner notes,
know.
or they don't know. They don't care about a CD, or
That's
they
it.
don't care
They
about
just
it
want a
sounding
song.
good.
Yeah.
I mean, it's an MP3. It's squished down to digital.
Yeah.
It sounds like shit. It's like
Right.
they think it
They
sounds.
probably don't
great.
even hear it.
Yeah, they
Right?
don't hear
When
it.
I,
They don't-
I
they don't-
hear it.
They're none
drives
the
me
wiser.
nuts.
They don't know any better.
We cherish the individuals that we grew up listening to.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
not going to give two fucks about it just because you can change the name.
Yeah,
of
and that
the
doesn't say they
MP3.
don't like music. That they like music. They're into it. They're consuming it a different.
Yeah.
way.
Right.
Well, and what's interesting too, if you think about how people listen to music now and apply it to live shows,
Oh yeah.
like for a long time, and I think it's still the tendency is to like, oh, a rock show or oh, a hip hop show, right? But isn't it an interesting idea if when I listen to my iPod, or well, not iPod because
Oh,
that
yeah.
dates me, but my phone, right?
I still have an iPod Nano.
dates me. I have one too.
iPod days,
I took
as
the
if
first one.
as if
Someone-
your 8-track didn't.
Right.
Hey,
Right.
hey, someone made fun of me at work the other day because I have
No,
an iPod
Deanna
Nano.
was teasing you, I think. In
No,
the
but I
last
have
podcast.
it. Yeah. But I have it at work. But what's that thing? Some guy asked me what that was. That's an iPod Nano. I'm like, don't you have a phone? I'm like, yeah. I said I like to carry this because I like to keep them separate. He goes, why? I'm like, I just do. It's weird like that,
Oh yeah. And then you can keep your memory space.
So if you think about that with live shows, like I'm looking forward to more and more live shows in the kind of the more modern perspective of, you know, when folks listen to music, when I listen to I just put my shit on shuffle,
Yeah.
right, and I'll have Slayer, right, and then, you know, Men at Work, and you know, you get
It's
Prince,
the mashup.
and then you know,
you got the
Public
whole
Enemy,
mashup.
like,
Yeah,
and that, and I'm like, I'm loving every bit of it.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
live music, live shows, I think ought to move more into the sort of Lollapalooza theory of having a mix of bands,
Like
and
they
a
were in the
mix of
60s.
man.
Yeah.
That style of show brings multiple crowds out,
Right.
you know, crowds of different genres out, and they, man, most people like a little bit of metal, a little bit of rap, a little bit of soul,
that's
a little bit
like
of
how we did it. You know what I mean? We had a
Kinda
lot of
like-
different. You know what I'm saying? We had all the different kind of demographics.
I think
The
we were
Latin-
we were very influenced by like what we saw with, you know, when like Public Enemy and Anthrax toured together.
Yeah,
and
I saw that
Primus,
tour,
like,
yeah.
I was we were all there, and I was
Yeah.
like,
Right.
one minute I'm watching Public Enemy, and the next minute I'm watching the Anthrax. It's like,
Right.
but that everybody in that, it was sold out, and everybody loved it.
They could
Yeah.
bring out-
They
bring
loved
out
all
the
of it.
noise.
I remember I
Yeah.
saw was the first or second Lollapalooza. It was like Susie and the Banshees killed it, Ice-T killed it, Jane's Addiction killed it, and Violent Femmes. I was like, those are
All
three
different.
completely different bands
Yeah.
on one show, and everybody loved all of it.
Let me ask you a question. I read this the other day, and I never. Did you play at Woodstock?
We did.
You did the
Yeah, they
Woodstock
did.
deal.
Yeah, we did.
They also
Yeah,
opened up
that
for
was
Kiss.
crazy.
These guys did all the killer tours. We were like, man, what the fuck? Like, we were all they're like, hey, man, we're
Oh shit!
hey.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
Hey.
look who's
They
here.
Komie the homie.
Komie the homies and them.
Komie the homie. Yeah. Well, shit.
Are you headed out?
I'll give you a couple minutes.
Okay.
He can take my spot.
Oh shit! I got a couple Bud Lights. Will that do? I know they're not designers, but
What is this?
Willie. There you go, bro.
Some of the chicharrones over there. Thanks.
You want some more?
Yeah, yeah.
Stick around, man. I'm cool. I'm just gonna.
Yeah, I'll a few minutes.
Sweet.
I'm like, what's good?
Chicharrones.
What's good with hot sauce?
These.
Chicharrones.
That's all good.
David Comey's in the house. No, so, but I was reading up on that. Just for some reason, I was on the Wikipedia Push Monkey page. I'm like, going, Woodstock? Really?
Dude,
I had no
was
clue.
that was a nightmare.
Was it really?
It really was. I mean, it was. I mean, girls getting raped. I mean, it was.
Was that
just
the one with the Red Hot Chili Peppers? Like, or were they like
on
started
fire.
burning shit and all that stuff? Was that the show?
We got in a van and we're driving off as the shit was going up on.
Oh,
fire.
my God.
It was. It was mud, piss. It was not good. They were
Yeah.
so
That
not.
was the death of that franchise. I mean,
Yeah, they were so not prepared for the million. You know, I don't know how many 70, 80, 100,000 people showed
Yeah.
up
apparently,
for
like,
a show
everybody
that
got mad because they were thirsty and they were charging them
like
for water.
too much for water. Yeah, they had no. Yeah.
Oh,
They
really?
were like, dude, they had no more. They were out of money, and they were like, dude, we're dying of thirst. We're in this fucking fairgrounds, and we want some water. Okay, it'll be $6. Man, fuck you! I'll burn this whole place down.
Dude, it
And
was
they did.
That's fucked up. Yeah.
it was great. We used to say in interviews like, "Oh yeah, we started the fire." No, no, but it was like it was apocalyptic. It was crazy.
That's crazy.
It was
man.
crazy.
You know, and that's
Not like the first one.
and I really think when you were talking about putting like different genres together, I think that's the problem why they don't do it, because like the shows.
No, that was
you know-
facility. That was all the fact that there wasn't enough water. There wasn't any kind of regulation. You know, people got crazy. People got drunk, high, and you know took
Yeah.
advantage of other people. You know, it was just the worst of humanity.
I
in
remember-
a huge
Not-
pile of
not policed
people.
enough, yeah.
I remember
Right,
we.
I mean, like
I think they pay-per-viewed that event or something, because I remember watching it live when it happened, and all I remember is when the Chili Peppers were on, they were just burning like they. I'm trying to think what it was.
was on fire.
Yeah, but yeah, how it started. They just threw some like I don't know if it was
Well,
pallets. or
they came out with fire on. They had helmets that had fire.
Yeah,
that
right,
shot
right,
out,
right, yeah.
And I don't know if it was people then responded to that and were lighting things up and
Wow.
just throwing fire bombs and
Yeah, because
Little mini
I mean,
crazy, man.
we've had a lot of
Whatever.
conversations.
Again,
of
we
that-
were leaving.
We're
We're out of here.
Gotta go. Yeah, because I mean, we've had like a lot of conversations. That's never come up because I was just kind of reading over the Push Monkey thing. I'm like going, wow, I mean, you guys had some like monster gigs, back in the day, and I was like, going, shit, that's a fucking killer gig. I mean, it would have been a killer gig if all that shit didn't happen. Yeah. But I still, I mean,
well, it's good to have on your,
on your resume.
Yeah, the resume looks great.
yeah.
We didn't start the fire like by Billy Joel.
Right.
I mean, I'm glad we did it.
Yeah.
And it was a cool thing to be a part of. It went south.
In hindsight, right?
It went south.
I'm sure you guys are super excited being
completely.
getting up there.
No, because
when you're driving away, watching the place burn down, you're like,
hell yeah, let me get the fuck about
which was
this
most of our career. I was like, I'm excited to fuck.
Hey, did anybody get the check on the way out?
Exactly.
We get paid.
We actually we flew in. We finished our last show in L.A.
Yeah.
Well, again, it wasn't L.A., but it was the California show for Ozfest, and we had to fly to make the Woodstock show because it was like the next
fucking
day.
ballers, huh?
Dude, it
God
was.
damn, you fucking
and
ballers.
so
over
we're,
here.
we're like, oh, leaving Ozfest to go play Woodstock. This is cool.
after we got off the Kiss Fest, fuck you guys.
Yeah,
Right.
I remember the first time he came up here.
It was tough.
And I remember that show in San Antonio.
I was there too. Yeah, it was great.
Yeah. And
I think, dude. I mean, yes,
And I
Kiss was
did-
great, but I think you guys. I mean, y'all were young and hungry, but like, I think you guys gave them some guys. I mean, not a run for the money. I think they were at a different level, but
yeah.
that was badass, dude. We were. I lost my voice. I was screaming so loud. I was so happy
Right?
for y'all guys.
No, it was a good.
Yeah,
time.
so my thing was when he came up, I was putting like one to one together. I'm like, push my game, fucking Kiss. I'm like going, dude, did you guys open up for Kiss? He's like, yeah. I was like, oh, I was like, fuck, because I remember.
No, and my hat's off to. I got to give props to Lone Wolf Management. I mean, we signed on, and again, they were courting Bob Schneider at the time. They courted a lot of folks in town, and they were looking for that rock band to kind of go, right? And they never found it, and then they put all their stock in Push Monkey, and we got really lucky. We got Kiss, we got Woodstock, Ozfest, right? Godsmack toured with them
Oh, wow.
for a long time.
Y'all had a
Man,
great- y'all had a great-
Well,
Such
you
a
see
good
the thing
time.
is, with that kind
So
of
fortunate.
thing that it really like it really cracked the scene for us too. You know what I mean? I'm pretty sure.
Right, when we were on Sony, we got to tour with everybody.
Especially in the
it's
rock-
A lot of,
Yeah.
like
Right.
you're saying, a lot of people start looking towards Austin for good bands because usually that's what happens.
Yeah.
When record companies or anybody see or hear the sound coming from out of a certain city, they come and get all those guys. You know what I mean? I remember when
like
Profile,
Seattle, right, same idea.
you know what I'm
yeah.
saying? So it's kind of like I said, we were able to get some great shows just because, of course, of, Vallejo, Push Monkey, and all the people that were already representing,
Yeah, well,
and
for a
we
hot
were-
minute there with the signing of, Patrice, Sister Seven,
Right.
and then them.
Paris to Texas. Right?
Yeah, and then for a
you
while,
guys,
yeah,
Sony.
labels majors came in and scooped us all up.
right, yeah.
And for a hot minute there, Austin was everybody was
Yeah.
checking us out. And
I think Fastball was probably the 1st.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
Those guys kind of.
Fastball, Seed,
Yep.
they got a deal.
Oh, I forgot
there was
about
a few
Seed.
bands.
No, Fastball had that one big song, huh?
Oh, that's
was
still
you.
that's still a hit.
Still is, yeah.
The way.
Yeah,
That's
they're
a good-
getting, they're getting
that's a good
recurring
song.
track checks. So,
Yeah,
Yeah.
retirement check.
But yeah, man. So for a minute there, when we got to tour with, they did the same. We did the same run. I mean, we got to tour with everybody from you name. I mean, because back then it was the big thing was the X Fests. You put on all the X Fests, and you played with, whatever band was hot. Stone Temple Pilots and Blues Traveler, Black Crows. I mean, all the hot Lit and whoever was hot, Papa Roach, all those bands like. And they were like, let's throw all the new bands, like the new signed bands on.
Yeah.
And they would give us good slots, like somewhere in the middle or like
To
we
try to
weren't the
help
first band.
because they wanted to.
They wanted that
propel
they
you a
wanted
little
the
bit.
Texas
Oh, of course,
draw,
yeah.
Right.
And it was great, man. You go in there and just kill them, you got 30 minutes, and you were like, which is awesome because, when you have to do a 90-minute set, you got to pace yourself and all that. But
Yeah.
30 minutes, you go in
Just
there and
balls out.
Yeah, it's
just,
fucking balls out. Yeah.
you just
Yeah.
pound their heads in for 30 minutes, dude. Like, and they're just like, oh, like you're freaking out. Like, so it was great,
Speaking of great shows, man, Saturday night, that was awesome.
I had a good time, man. It
That
was
was
a
a
fun
great
show,
show.
man.
Man,
I mean,
I had my
every-
kiddos. I
every-
almost snuck out. I was like, oh, I want to go to that show.
Everybody
Grub.
brought it, man.
It's right down the street too for me. I was like, oh, I got
Everybody brought it. It was fucking sick. I mean, the Bowleys were awesome. 99 Crimes was awesome. Blackheart Saints. I'll tell you what. I've seen those guys a bunch of times. And we got cheeseburgers. Cheeseburger.
I feel like a cheeseburger on
Cheap better get.
What's that?
Dude, she is
No, I'm
so
good, thank
awesome.
you.
Terry's awesome.
Thank you so much.
You want some fries?
I'm good.
And looking fabulous,
Fries
by
and
the way.
chicharrones.
Looking-
I saw
Dude,
your picture.
She all ketoed out. And
you
looking,
ketoed it. Good for you. Pose for the camera. There you go.
Fucking
Pose,
killer.
baby. Pose.
I know, right?
Beautiful.
Here's
Look at
all
that.
your hamburgers,
Beautiful.
fatties.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Here's your shining moment. It is a big deal. Good for you. That's awesome. I'm trying to gain weight, so I don't know how I'm going to do that.
Though. I don't like when
Dude, I
people
lost a
lose
lot of
weight.
weight,
Like,
Too much
I'm
weight.
with you on that.
Just
There you go. Work it, baby. Work it. There you go.
That's funny. I don't like when people lose too much weight.
Here.
He's like, I can't trust people that lose too much weight.
So you don't trust
know
me
where
then.
we from, man. When you
That's
start
funny.
losing too much weight, we start saying,
Hey.
Hey,
hey man, what
you
you on?
you on some drugs?
Yeah. You hit that crack dude a little too hard there, you know. Nah, man. Congratulations to her.
Yeah, I'm trying to gain weight now, man. I lost a bunch.
Man, you are thin. You're like, what, 160?
No, like
165?
167.
No, 167.
What do you want, man?
At 100. You
No,
got
but it's
me.
it's where I lost it. It's lost it, but you know I've been kind of working out a little bit, and I can't gain any back. I'm like 167. I can't even reach that 170 point now. It's like I'm not complaining.
Please don't.
I feel great. I feel great at this weight, but I'd like to try to gain a little bit. You know.
Yeah.
So, but you know, it is what it is, and that's the way God made me. I'm good, man. A cheeseburger? I'll tell you what. I love those things, man. So bad for you. So
They
bad.
are. I know they are.
It crashes all over that thing. It's like
It doesn't feel bad.
crashes. Hey,
Doesn't taste
hey,
bad.
hey, you're not gonna be late, are you? It's 9:45, so I don't want
I'm
to.
gonna leave in about 2-3 minutes.
Okay, I just don't want to
I
make
just
sure
wanna-
you're not late for your gig. He's got a gig tonight.
Yeah, I gotta rock
that
with
Cherie
Cherie.
thing. That thing's badass.
That's dope,
Yeah.
man. It's one of the best funk soul, bands to rock with. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
you know, and I just, I jam with them and I play the breaks, and man, I think it's been one of the best Thursdays I've been having for a good minute now.
That's good,
So,
man.
Y'all definitely onto something. And then, obviously, with Steven and Ovi being gone, there's a fire there that's like
man, Steve just
you can feel the soul is there.
Yeah, so it's like, and what's crazy is that I played, I think that last Thursday with Steve, and I mean, we usually have the Breakfast Club thing, and we'll go out and eat breakfast before we go home, and that was the last time I saw him, you know what I mean? So, but it was just good to finally play with him. And
Yeah.
And it just, all of a sudden, I just, man, you know what I mean? Because you know how all these, like I said, all the bucket list players I've been wanting to play with, and now I'm playing with them in this, I just don't want, come on now. I'm not ready for it. You know
Just
what I
take
mean?
the mantle, man. Take
So,
the
yeah.
mantle. And
That's that's how it is. Like with this thing, there's so many people I want to get up here, and now I'm reaching out to everybody that I want, Because before was the thing I'm like, man, they ain't gonna want to do this. They ain't want to come up here and do this. And the people have said yes. I got Ray Prim coming up next week.
Oh,
you know?
hell yeah.
Yeah.
Ray's
So,
awesome.
yeah. So and I reached out to Ray. He's like, yeah, I'm in. Let me know when. And it's like,
So you're gonna laugh your ass off. That
Oh,
guy
yeah.
is hilarious.
Yeah.
He's,
So like I said, same thing with Omar. And I reached out to your brother Alex for Dead Love Club. I mean, I haven't heard back yet, but so I'm reaching for everybody, man. Have everybody come up just one at a time and just knock it out like that.
Yeah.
Well, we just appreciate what you're doing, man, because, since AMN, we haven't really had a good platform for all the
Well, I mean,
all the music.
well, and it's a new media, right? Like
Yeah.
the podcast is where people are going.
Well, yeah, and I got to give a big shout out to Johnny because Johnny Gotti is like what? How many 700, 800 episodes? He's in it
about
deep.
750, 740 now. So.
Yeah, and he's been doing it forever, man. He's doing a great job with it, and he's constantly putting stuff out there all the time, man. My fucking hats off to him.
Yeah, he works hard on. It's like what you're creating. We are creating. We talk about it with the
Yeah,
Worms.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
a brand. We're all building a brand. And his brand, he works hard at it. He's been working
Yeah.
his ass on it. Just like you got your thing going. You're on your second. Here we are celebrating your second year. So
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Dirty Worm has been kicking it for that brand is
Yeah, that
Gold,
18 years, you know
Whew.
what I'm saying?
So-
yeah.
So I mean, it's like Velveeta, like we're cheesy, but Velveeta's that's a good brand.
Yeah.
I want stock in that thing.
right?
but like
or
I
the
see,
government cheese.
like I see, like
Government cheese.
like the other night, sitting there watching like a band like Black Heart Saints, and it reminded me of like what we were 25 years ago. With like Josh jumping around and doing like karate kicks and shit and all that stuff.
It's funny. I know Tony will relate to me. Like I look at him and go, "They're so cute. Like they're so."
I know, have the same. I do.
They're so excited. They're so excited and happy right now.
I was busting his ass on Facebook the other day. I guess they were like they got invited to some event. They're all looking tough with these shirts.
Yeah.
And I said to him, I said, "What the hell was it?" I said, "What are you all bouncers or something?" And Josh goes, "Yeah." He goes, "Well." He goes, we asked them for their smallest shirt so we could look bigger. I said, man, you guys wear smalls as it is. I said, how much smaller are you going to get? And so I went back and forth. He goes, oh, kid smalls. And he said something about, he goes, well, I got all my smalls out of your closet. I said, man, there ain't nothing but larges in my closet. So I don't know about somebody's smalls. So I was going back and forth with him. And
It was funny because I will look at some of the AMN's posting some old.
I know, right? I saw
That's
some of
those
that stuff
great
this
stuff of
week.
you
How
guys.
cool is that
So-
stuff?
And we're all jumping around. So.
I wish I had that energy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's what I see in like Black Carp Saints.
Yeah.
Like, when I look at them and they're all dancing around and rocking and like, yeah, what's up? Like I'm like, that's so cute because I now
Cute is the perfect word.
Yeah,
That's cute.
now you look at us.
We
we're
was there
still
back in the
rocking.
day.
We're
Yeah.
still rocking, but
That's paced.
yeah, we're
Yeah.
rocking in a,
Like-
we're like
Yeah.
sort of like Ted Nugent now. We're kind of like,
Right.
you know, instead
Yeah,
of like
I'm
swinging
not-
from a vine, we're sort of
Right.
kind
A
of
little less
back.
jumpy.
Yeah. I'm not trying to outwin myself because I
Right.
like my air. Like,
Yeah.
like back then, I was like, well, I'm just gonna
Just
rock
gonna-
till I
oh.
pass out.
Because
Oh,
I was watching them the other night, and I've seen them a shit ton of times, you know, and man, they sounded the best they've sounded, and the show was great. I mean, of course, with Nate, Nate.
Oh my
had,
God, I love watching.
I'll
him
tell you what,
play.
Nate had
makes me so happy.
Nate just let it all loose, let it all hang out the other night. He was just killing it, and
I was so proud of those guys, and I don't know if y'all went to the Steel Panther show, but
I didn't get to
they-
go.
Dude,
No.
what a great
Yeah.
opportunity that was.
they freaking owned it. They represented
Yeah.
Austin the right way. You know, it was we were
That-
all same thing. Like when we saw
Yeah.
these guys with kids, we were like, yeah, you know, just happy for them. You know.
Oh, totally. So
Yeah, those
And
guys
it's
are. That's a
Friday,
class.
great.
That's
Yeah.
a class act.
and
It's
they've been
good to
getting
see.
a lot of great shows.
It's good to
too.
see younger bands that have the ethic that they have,
Yeah.
right? Because you do see younger bands that feel kind of entitled.
Yeah.
They don't have that.
Yeah.
They just think they're going to work their asses off, and
That-
you know what?
Yeah.
It's going to pay off.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
Peterson brothers, man. I mean, I really
They work
like
hard.
those guys
And then
work
also
hard.
you get some of these newer acts, these younger kids that, and there's that entitled, but then there's the unfortunate beauty of Austin, which is a slacker mentality, which is great if you work at Thundercloud and smoke pot all day. And you don't
Yeah,
care,
yeah.
and you're happy just to pay your bills and buy a
Yeah,
bag of weed
yeah,
with your
yeah.
check. That's great, but like some of these kids also start bands, and it's like, and they don't really do a lot. They're just like, oh man, we're happy playing
Yeah,
at Hole in the Wall.
they're
and
just doing a mediocre.
you know, if all our stoner friends show up and we can have a good time and I can, get laid out of it, and we go back to somebody's apartment and party all night, like
Right,
that's success to them. They're like,
The
that's
lottery
it.
has been won.
Yeah.
yeah.
But that doesn't, for somebody that's ambitious, that's not,
Yeah, that's not the goal.
So unfortunately,
No,
there's a
that's
lot of
not the
that.
goal.
But
yeah,
again,
yeah.
if that makes them happy,
that was
I'm all for
Well,
it.
and what's crazy too is a band like that could totally hit.
yeah.
And not even
yeah.
try. Yeah.
Yeah.
Without,
I
like,
know.
Well, you know
cool, right?
that's what the guys said back in the day too. Back in '70s, they was like, "Yeah, we was just doing it for the chicks."
Yeah.
And then we finally popped off and got a hit, and then next thing you know, we're doing it for money. You know what I mean? So, it's the same kind of concept like you're saying. It's just it might take that one day, and then it makes it a real job for them.
Well,
Yeah.
and it's a balance, right? Because it is a business. We are in the business of music. At
Oh,
the
yeah,
same
yeah,
time,
yeah.
though, I remember I kind of quit. At the end of the Push Monkey
That's
time,
right. Yeah.
I kind
Remember
of
that.
pulled out because I was like, man, I'm only in this for the money now.
Yeah,
Like I've lost my heart for it,
right.
right? And when
That's
and it killed me because I love music, and I remember when I was
Very honest.
I
of you
was
to say
getting
that.
divorced.
Yeah.
I was
Well,
getting
shit,
divorced.
I love
and
it.
I met some friends, and we started 333. And I was like,
money,
what is it that I love to do? I love to be on stage. I love to play song. I love to write music. Man, I need to get that back.
That's what Xavier from Buck Cherry, Xavier Mural.
Oh,
that
we
was
played
his.
with those guys too.
That was his. That was his reason. I've known him forever, and he was telling me up here, he's like, because I just lost my love for it, because they were touring. Those guys were road dogs.
Yeah.
No, I
They were
remember.
on
Yeah.
every tour,
Yep.
and they're
Yep.
constantly,
Still are, really.
and he didn't have a life outside of that band, constantly touring the tour buses and da da da. He said, he goes, I just lost my love for it. He goes, lost my fire for it. So he, made the decision he
But
made, and now he builds bikes.
Yeah.
And he's
What I
having a
kinda
great
like
life.
What I like seeing with your new band, 333, which is not, we say new, but it's like you
Yeah,
guys.
6 years old or
Yeah.
whatever.
It's been a while, yeah.
But compared to the classic rock that Push Monkey and Vallejo is like, but what I see with that, what from the outside being an artist is like if you feel like a band like Push Monkey or even like a band like Vallejo, there's a lot of compromise, because you're like, when you're a band,
Well said.
and there's a lot of compromise, and you're like, you'd be like, you can show up. I do it with my brothers all the time. Like, man, I wrote the greatest song in the world, and it just takes one of them to go. You're like, and you're like, man,
Shot
talk about
down.
just busting your bubble. You're like, oh,
Shit, man, that's a great song. No,
fucked
not.
up.
Yeah.
Oh, it sounds like Nickelback. Which is like, right?
Bunch
What?
of jaded
You
motherfuckers.
just
right?
fucking, you just.
I feel like I'd be busted on Nickelback.
I love Nickelback, but that's what I'm saying. Hey, so
No, it's
They
true
got
though.
they got a bad
Well,
rap,
you
those
know,
dudes.
the truth,
sometimes.
though.
dude, I love Nickelback, but I mean, I'm just making.
I
a
know,
comment.
I know.
It's a good point.
Well,
though.
you
But
know,
what I'm
It's a great
saying
point.
is like
We go through that all the time, though.
what I kind of even when I'm going through musically with my projects now is like I see you kind of doing a lot. It's a lot of you. It's you
What
still
you
have your
love,
band,
yeah.
but I feel less compromised. It
feels
feels like
good.
it feels like you. You know, like
it feels good.
Well,
to
and
you.
it's a really fun project, 333, because I've had a number of guys leave the band and come back into the band. Brad Byron,
yeah.
Matthew Temple, a lot of guys. Carson Alexander was in the band for a couple of years, right? So I've had a lot of churn, and I finally have a group of guys that
You guys are like family.
want to write songs together. Like they challenge me because I'm the senior guy, and I'm the guy that can kind of, if I really wanted to, I could be like, no, it's like this,
yeah,
right? I don't, but I could.
yeah.
Right? And I appreciate that I've got a group of guys that are like, hey, I had this song idea and I want to contribute. I had this lyrical idea. I want you to sing this lyric. Like, bring it on.
Yeah.
I mean, I own the lyric. I'm the singer guy, whatever, but man, I'll sing your lyrics. I don't have a problem with that.
Well, shit, that's the
If
way
they're
the
better
records are being
than
made,
my lyrics,
period,
great.
Yeah.
It's
Well, I
better.
know.
Especially if it's a great idea.
Yeah, it's a
Great-
great
yeah.
idea.
Well, I know
And I
Josh.
finally-
I know Josh brought a lot to 333.
tons.
I mean, with Monster and all that stuff. 'Cause I know he wrote that, right? A big chunk of that. So
Yeah,
I mean,
that was a neat collaboration because
Yeah.
he had this song that he'd had around for a long time, and he gave it to me, and I told him, I said, hey, I'm hearing it go a totally different direction. Like I'm hearing a little dubstep and a bunch of weird noises. Anyway, when I gave it back to him and said, here's what I did with it, he loved it.
Yeah.
So anyway, long story short, when you do it out of love, I think anymore at our age, that's really, you kind of can't expect to make it big and to
Yeah,
make a
I
ton
think
of money.
those days of like getting a big monster record deal and being the next
Just
Metallica
not-
is not happening for anybody.
No, for
No,
anybody.
no.
Like-
For it doesn't matter how great you are. I don't think there's those little shining rays of hope
Yeah.
for some
Nah,
bands.
It's just going viral now. It's
Yeah.
just,
Yeah.
that's the
Even like,
thing.
you know,
It's going
I want to go viral. There we go.
Our high school buddies, Brent Hines from Macedon and all those guys, they're like one of the biggest metal bands in the world, and they're not by any standards like super rich rock stars. They got money. They're doing really well, better than all of us. But like,
Right.
it's not that the Metallica big
Yeah, the
is
Metallica
gone.
money,
It's
yeah.
gone. Like
Yeah,
nobody's
yeah,
getting
yeah.
that big anymore. Like
Yeah.
Well,
Well,
even
the-
like King's X, right? Those guys are kind of the middle class of musicians.
Yeah.
Even though they've had
success.
hit songs and success and tour, and they're still a household name, they really are a middle class.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Records,
They are, yeah,
records
they're-
not
yeah.
being bought like how they used to be anyway. You see what I'm saying?
Or
When
any of those bands.
you have made the
the-
bought.
I mean, all those
by
bands
the
lit
vinyl,
and,
vinyl and
Mhm.
cassette.
you name a lot of those bands that have huge hits. They're middle class. They're just trying to pay their bills.
Well, I mean, people right now, they're making new music to go out on the road. Like
That's true.
most, I'm not saying all bands, because there's like you got the Aerosmiths and the Kiss and all that kind of stuff. They go out as as a nostalgia act, and they could play to arenas
Yeah.
for the rest of their lives because they have 40 or 50 years worth of hits.
But they have to go on the road because those guys aren't selling records.
They're not
Oh
selling
yeah, they
records.
got it. Yeah, they have
all
to.
the
That's
records
actually-
on
they're
the
making
yeah,
their
all the
revenue.
money's on the
Yeah.
road.
Yeah, they're not. I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah, they have to go on the road.
yeah, the last No Doubt album didn't even do 50, 60,000. And then the No Doubt is a
Really?
huge. Yeah, and
Yeah.
No
I
Doubt
didn't
is
know
a
that.
huge act. I mean, Madonna's last album sold 200,000 copies.
That's crazy.
Like Madonna.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
we almost did that.
That's a sign of
that's
times.
what I'm
you
saying.
mean? Like,
Yeah.
We almost did that one.
Well, like I
Hey,
said,
I'm done.
like I said,
I'm
it's
not
an even
Madonna.
playing
We're not
field.
Madonna. I'm just
Right.
saying that's a
Hey,
whole nother
right.
level.
But now you be like, you know what? I'll match Madonna.
Right.
But like that's kind of where we're at. That's the state of where
But the
that
thing
just
is,
tells
you can't
the
sell
climate.
out the stadium like Madonna would do. That's,
Not
you
even-
know,
right,
you know what I'm
not
saying?
even
So
close.
that's- You know what I'm saying? That's
Right.
the thing.
I mean, the Stones can still go out and sell out massive stadiums. They probably their last record probably sold maybe 100,000.
Maybe not. I mean,
not
it's,
even
it's
that.
very hard to like break. I mean, the last record that's gone platinum, which records went platinum all the time, but when we were putting records out every week, I mean, Backstreet Boys, these guys were 10 million albums.
yeah.
Like,
Oh, yeah.
I mean, the last record that's gone platinum is Taylor Swift's album, and other than that, nobody's.
I think Metallica's last one did.
I mean, it probably did after a few months. But,
Yeah.
but
I mean,
takes
we're talking about
longer.
records that would.
It'll take
Oh, like
place.
Rap the-
and
Rap the
back in
Bat?
the day, Kid Rock, Godsmack.
Oh yeah.
They would
Just name a band,
they
they
would
all went
ship
platinum.
when they say ship platinum, things don't ship platinum anymore. Like
Nah,
no.
nah.
So, and that's
Things
you know
have
that
changed,
sucks, but
man.
it goes back to the whole like what we were all talking about at the beginning. You know, the accessibility of music. Man, they might not buy it, but then there's now we're in streaming. We're in the streaming world.
Exactly.
There's no money in it, but like the accessibility is way
They're doing everything
way
to change
far
that,
reach.
though.
Yeah, yeah, they are.
Is making money in streaming now. So, I mean,
I just don't think it's ever going to get back to what like the full
No.
monetary.
Your fame.
that almost kind of
your
answers
fame-
your
Yeah, I
question
think the-
from
The
what
day
you're
of
saying.
the day of the rock star is over because man, for me, it's
No,
like,
no.
I don't think the day of
disagree.
rock
No,
stars
no,
is
Well, let me
over.
tell you why. It's the fame is still completely available.
Yeah.
Right. You can still be a
Huge
huge
star.
hit
Right.
on spot, but the
You just may
rich
not have the
rock
money
star.
to match
Yeah.
it.
That's what you mean.
You
Yeah.
have the money.
The rich rock star.
to match it.
Be a
Well,
broke ass rock
Well, because
star.
okay,
Broke ass.
I'll put it to you this way.
Like, wow, you guys are so famous. How much? You must have like $1 million. I got like
Oh,
50
shit.
bucks in my pocket.
Yeah. Well, I remember being a kid, right? And you always like say like you're a Kiss fan or whatever, or just say that band for instance, right? And your dream was to meet Kiss someday, and you would try to find a way. Like, man, you would go get backstage, or you would go like to try to find a record store. You would send letters or whatever, and it was like that. You had to know somebody to meet Kiss, or you know what I'm saying? Had to be. It was a major
You had to have the end.
undergoing
Yeah.
to beat that band.
Yeah.
Nowadays, it's like you got Twitter. Hey, Gene, what's up? Hey, Bobby, how are you, man? It's like
Yeah.
and so the thing is,
And it's cool too,
it's
though.
cool.
It's mixed,
It's
right?
cool, but it's
tough.
like,
Yeah,
man, it's just the mystique is gone. You know what I
Right.
mean?
exactly
Right.
it.
Yeah.
And in fact,
Yeah.
the bands that are having success with product, like you still see, like, was it Foo Fighters a couple years ago put out their DVD, right? And all the Metallica DVDs, right? That now has become a marketable thing.
Yeah.
And it's really, it used to be about mystique. Right, and I remember Lone Wolf would tell us all the time, like, "Oh, don't talk to him too much. Walk away from a fan. Talk to him a little bit
Right,
and walk
right.
away.
Keep
Don't
on
give
wanting
too
more.
much.
Well, when they're talking, like,
Don't
no,
give
dude,
too
just walk
much.
away. Don't give him too much. Like, be mysterious. Now it's all about
Being available.
Being available.
it
Yeah.
is. It's a different game,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So now it's about here's all the bullshit. Here's we were taking a shit naked. Like, like it's all about
They want to see. They want to see it all.
They want to
all,
see your
yeah.
bullshit and
Yeah.
whatever. And
That's
they
why
wanna see you having
reality
a
television
fight or
shows.
whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, are more
Taylor
successful.
Swift, going back to her, she's mailing fans Christmas gifts. It's like they're freaking out. You mean like
What are you taking? Oh, it's 10 o'clock.
Yeah, it's about that time.
He's
for
like,
me.
damn, I got the hell out of here.
Yeah. I'm having
Hey,
fun
brother.
with you guys.
Hey, man, thank you so much for coming up, brother.
Appreciate y'all. Love you, brothers.
Love
I
you,
got to say
Kraft.
that. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you, Brad. Thank you so
Man.
much for coming up in this
You know,
rainy
I didn't-
weather.
I didn't get to tell our story about how we met and
We'll-
how.
You'll be back. Hey, we're coming.
Man, so,
The worms
yeah,
are coming up here next
hopefully
month, so.
we'll have a part 2 and
Yeah.
hopefully I'm working on something, man, that hopefully it'll be a very, very, very big, but for Overlord, trying
Yeah.
to work on a statue being
That's
built.
right. I was actually going to bring that up.
So you know what I'm saying, and
Hey, let me know if you need a background singer.
hey,
I got mad harmonies.
Mad
Mad
harmonies.
harmonies.
just
Tony Park got mad
I
harmonies.
think hopefully one of these days we can just come up with another hit like we did last, and just do a whole big posse track like we did last time, and just do some things.
I think
man.
we all thought Top of the Food Chain was gonna.
Top of the food
Yeah,
chain. That-
we are.
yeah,
I love
that's
that
a
song.
good tune.
Yeah, I mean,
man, what a great.
yeah.
What a
That-
great
that-
song.
That's what made it so great that I don't think we knew what we were making when we were making it.
Right.
We played it back and we're like, holy shit,
Yeah.
this is
Good song.
good.
Yeah, and it was crazy how when AJ he played me the track, and I went to the studio and I heard him play it, and I was like, I called Smack, I was like, yo, you got to hear this fucking shit right motherfucking now. He's like, man, I ain't finna come over there right now. I'm like, man, you need to come bring your motherfucking ass. And then he comes over the next day, he's like, yeah, what the fuck you mean here, motherfucker? You need to start writing to this bitch.
We started building
and
it,
then, and it was like, then we start brainstorming about how we gonna
but then
come about.
then y'all gave it to Toby Ryan, and he was like, dude, this has
Oh, yeah.
got to go on radio right now. And then
shout out to Toby Ryan.
I'm still kind of waiting for that song to take off.
You know what's
I feel like
crazy?
it's got legs, man.
That's what I'm
It's a
saying.
good
It
tune.
does, and
It's got a great vocal hook in the chorus.
Yeah.
It's got great
Can I,
rap.
hey,
It's
can I
got
have
great
permission to
rhymes.
like use it as an outro
The
tape?
third
Hell
verse,
yeah.
Overlord on the
Hell
third
yeah.
verse? Like,
Hell yeah.
it's-
No, seriously, if I can get the rights from everybody,
you know,
I will
You
play.
got
You know what?
approved.
I will play that.
Hey,
I will
hey,
play that
look.
song. I will play. I
I'm
swear to
gonna
God.
I'm gonna tell you right now what it's gonna take is a movie. And when they go on, I'm telling you,
Right.
they get on a
Swear to God,
movie.
man, I will
Gotta
play
get
that
in
song
the
in the
movie.
outro to every podcast.
who has the publishing on that? We need to work that.
Seriously,
all got-
'cause I'll do it.
Yeah, I think it's all. I think it's all.
Yeah, it's all-
we went by the books. It's all split
Right,
up.
yeah.
I'll
I
do
know,
it.
I know, like
Split
it's
up.
shared, but like
Yeah.
who's working it? We need to find out who's working it.
Yeah.
I'll seriously, I'll do it though. I'll work it in the show.
VMG.
fucking love that
It's,
song.
it's sitting around somewhere.
It's around somewhere, so yeah. Work the
Thing
shit
is,
out
like,
of that bitch.
This is what's kind of crazy that me and my brothers are kind of dealing with is like we're sitting on Overlord's complete catalog, his whole
Yeah, I
catalog,
wanna hear
yeah.
that.
and we don't know what to do with it.
Yeah.
Like I don't know, like what am I supposed to do with
Like I said,
monies and like what am I supposed to do with it? I mean, we have
yeah.
unreleased recordings. We have
probably give it
we
to
own all the
family on
masters.
that.
Like
Yeah.
what?
Do you really?
Yeah, like
Wow.
they're all sitting in my studio, like on
Yeah.
drives. Like what am I supposed to do with this stuff? Like
That's when we come in and remix and
No,
put
like-
Remaster them all.
Yeah,
and it's just unfortunate.
redo.
Like we're sitting here, like sitting around, going like with our hands, going like. I mean, he didn't give us any instructions what to do. Like I've gotten instructions
Like we were
from
talking
Smack.
about earlier.
I have instructions from Smack and Crash what to do if something happens to them. Like I don't. We never talked about that, Don.
Yeah.
You know, so VMG's kind of right now. I think we're gonna have a meeting with the remaining members of the family, and you know, and I don't think they know because they're not in the music business. What are they
Right.
gonna do?
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
what, I don't know if that would be. What are they gonna do with it? Like,
Yeah.
just,
I
if I give them the
don't even
masters, it's
care.
gonna sit somewhere until somebody loses it or
Right.
Yeah.
erases it, and
Yeah.
it's like
Yeah.
I feel like it's better off with us, you know. But you know, what it's honestly, it's whatever the family wants, you know.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
What up?
All right, brother.
See y'all.
Hey, have a good gig tonight, man.
Oh yeah, man.
Rock the house.
You know what I mean?
You. The fucking Dave probably left. Now he's out there.
We don't go too far.
He's out there talking to Terry, I'm sure.
You know what I'm saying? So,
All right, man.
Monkey, Vallejo, Dirty Worm.
Love you, man.
Fuck yeah, bro.
Be safe.
Appreciate you, Bobby.
No problem. Thank you so much. Hey, have a safe trip to the gig and
All right.
fucking slay them
Later,
bitches over
man.
there.
See y'all later.
Love you, dude.
Peace.
All right.
See ya.
Tell Komie to
I
come
love
in.
that dude, man.
That dude's cool.
I'll tell you what, man. When that whole thing came down with, with Big Don, it was either him or or Smack or and or Les Fisher, and I don't know Les at all, so I just asked Crash dude, and he was like, yeah, I'll do it, no problem. Hey dudes,
There he
we
is.
just got rolling, brother.
I've been through all your drawers.
Nice. There's not much in them. Crystal took everything.
Found all your porn.
All of it?
You didn't find out.
No, you didn't find all of it. I got it hidden all over the place. What's going on? How you doing?
I'm doing all right.
I'm doing all right.
I just dropped in. I was in the neighborhood.
Were you? Hey, we were
Man.
talking about the gig the other night, man.
Man, you guys killed it. It was
Jesus
awesome.
Christ, what a show the other night.
You guys are too nice.
Every
It was all about
man,
Vallejo.
everybody. I mean, it was cool because the Bullies started off and they were killing it. 99 Crimes came up, they killed it. Blackheart Saints come up and just destroyed.
That was a strong.
They were fucking destroying. Then
That was
these
a good
guys
bill.
came up and brought it, and then of course AJ and the boys came up after that. I mean, it was just a great show.
It was a great bill, man. And you put that whole thing together?
I did. I got another one going February 2nd. I'm trying to.
Yeah.
I
Get
got-
up on that mic just a little more.
I got
That
Mark.
was freaking
There
I
you
got
go.
Mark Younger Smith's band. He's reached out to me, so I got his band for February 2nd. Broken Things, and Blackheart Saints again. And I'll probably do 5 bands again.
That's great, man. It was really awesome. You could tell everybody was just trying to out rock each other.
Oh yeah, I know. I was like, God, where's this gonna go after you know?
And dude, I think that's healthy. I mean,
Oh yeah,
there's
it
nothing
is,
wrong
man.
with that.
Totally.
You know, like,
Competition,
like
man.
and I was like, all right, okay, go ahead. Like these guys are like, oh, okay. I was like, we need to rewrite the set list because
so
we're gonna
but seriously,
fucking phone it in. And I was like,
how
now we
many
gotta
shows
work?
How many shows do you play? And 4 or 3 other bands are lame,
Yeah.
right? And you're when you go up, you're like, we kind of got this. But when you play a show, when everybody's bringing it, and then you go up, you're like, let's do this.
Yeah.
It's just, I love to watch. Man, I don't like to go to shows and watch bands be lame. I want to go to shows. I'm a fan of music as much as I am a performer of music, right?
Yeah, of course.
I want to go, and that's why I always, and something we talked about in the past, I always try to put together great bills because I don't want to watch crappy bands.
Yeah.
I want to play with great
Well,
bands.
that was the thing, because I saw that on Facebook. I saw, someone, I think you shared it actually. And I'm like, going, of course, my brain's always rolling in some direction, and I'm like kind of going, So I texted him. I said, dude, who's emceeing this thing? And he's like, I don't know.
You are.
And I'm like, hey.
Sold.
But no, I was like, man, I want to do it because I want to be part of that, because it's a fucking great event. It has nothing to do with me. I just want to get up there and just be part of it.
Yeah.
Well,
man, I think it was just like it was friendly competition, or I guess we could call it friendly fire. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was like we were firing shots, but it was like we're all buddies. You know what I mean? So it's all good. You know.
I mean, really though, I don't say the enemy, but the goal is the fans, right?
Yeah.
So if everybody's good, that just makes the show a better show.
They had a good time, and that was the best I ever saw. 99 Crimes. It was the best I ever saw Blackheart Saints play.
Oh, totally. Yeah.
They were those kids. Like we were before we got in here, we were saying how cute they are because they're still so happy and excited and fresh. we used to do that, like, oh, it's so cute. Like look at him running around all excited. Like
He's jumping.
he's jumping. I like to just move, like kind of sway a little bit.
Yeah, but like I said, it was, and thank you for letting me do my little thing for Overlord before you guys went on
Sure,
and everything.
man.
I wanted to save that for you guys because, you guys were,
And dude,
family to them,
Yeah, and I could say it now, but like, I mean, I probably would have been a little more, I don't know, moved a little more, but I was still having a rough time.
I know. I saw you when I walked outside with you. I could tell it was bothering everybody.
It's better now, but
Yeah.
I'm glad we were part of that because like it was good to get I had to get it out somehow, like. And there's no better way to do that than to rock. Like I know it sounds like cheesy, but it's like just
don't
rock.
totally, yeah.
That's truth.
And that who was the guy that came up and did the rap?
I don't know. Omar knows all these weird walks of life. I mean, it's like I don't know how he meets these people, but he's like, "Hey man, that kid with the cowboy hat is gonna rap Overlord's rap." I'm like he knows Overlord's rap, and he goes, "Yeah, he knows it." And I go, "Where do you find these people?" Like,
So
it's like I know there's homeless guys hanging around at the front of the studio, but like I didn't know,
he looked like a country guy. Had a hat on, the boots with the with the pants tucked in, the boots and everything, and no offense, looked like he came off the farm. And I was like, I saw him. I was hey, and he got up there and slayed it. I mean, he like just killed it.
He spit Don's modern day slave rap verbatim.
Really?
Perfect.
Really?
Verbatim. Like,
Yeah, and
it was
AJ was
like-
on stage. he's
And
kinda going,
in time.
'Cause I was
and
kind of like, man,
delivered.
I didn't tell Omar, but I was like, man, this guy better be good. Like,
I would be
Oh.
skeptical too. I mean, like,
Yeah.
opening. My name was not Toe. I was like,
it was funny because I was watching him when he's like,
I just kind of went back. I was
look at
kind of
his
like,
face, like
I gave him the George Jefferson, like,
respect.
okay.
I was like, holy shit, he has big. I mean, but it was awesome because, I think if that would have went south, that a lot of that night would have just went down.
I would have immediately gone on the mic and blamed Omar immediately in front of everybody.
But I
Which
think,
is easy to do.
But I think that rap really brought your set to a different level. It kind of brought up sort of like how when you did Top of the Food Chain at the Push Monkey thing to that level, because everybody was just like, God damn, this guy is fucking murdering
it was
this
cool.
shit.
It was just cool, man. I mean,
Yeah.
kudos to that kid, man. He brought it,
And anyways, he was on Facebook the next day, and I sent him a text. And I said, "Man, you fucking killed it." I said, "Like Don's smiling down on you. Don's proud of you, or whatever."
I don't know what is his name. Did you get his name? I don't.
I'd have to look. He's my friend on Facebook. I get it to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was
I'd like to
man,
give him a shout out. I
murdered
didn't
it.
catch his name or
Right?
anything
No kidding. That's awesome.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
But
Mad
I was just watching him when he was doing it, and he was just like,
I missed all that. I missed that, and I was at the bar.
were you?
But I think I missed it all. I missed Yayo, and then
Yeah,
I
Yayo
missed.
got up and did Highway to Hell.
Highway to
It was-
Hell, yeah.
And then there was some chick with a Dharma King shirt. I never saw her either.
Yeah. She was actually a kid. You know, my brother Alex is the director at School of Rock.
That's right, yeah.
And she was one of the students, and she got up and sang. Alex was like, "Hey man," because we were gonna get Yayo up for Highway to Hell, and he goes, "Hey man," because there were students. They had the X's that they can't read, and they all had their School of Rocks, and I think she had the Dharma
Hanover's
King
let him
shirt on.
in?
Huh?
Hanover's let him
Yeah.
in? That's
Yeah.
crazy.
But the chick had the Dharma King shirt on, and Alex goes, her name was Maddie. Was her name? She was probably all of 15 years old. She's like,
Yeah.
He goes, "Hey man, that chick right there, she knows words to like." Because we were gonna get Josh. He always sings with us, you know, or you sing. He always sings with us, you know.
Right.
But he goes, "Man, let that girl up sing the first verse. She knows the words." I go, "To Highway to Hell." He goes, "Yeah, she knows." Dude, she went up there. Like her parents are still writing me like, "Oh my god!" Like, but I think we messed up because she's got the bug now. So like,
Oh, boy.
it's
yeah,
over.
zoom in
Yeah,
on it.
she's probably gonna be a lawyer. She probably had a really bright future ahead of her, but now she's like, you know, I was gonna say be a lawyer, but look at this guy, he's a successful lawyer. Like,
No lawyer that rocks.
Yeah.
In the house.
But yeah, man, like so, and there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, when you get that bug, I mean, we all got it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I hope it goes well for her.
I hope it goes well for her.
In the whole School of Rock thing too, like what I love about the Round Rock one that Alex is, you know, Josh works there too, right, from 333. That whole those guys are really trying to get those kids engaged in real opportunities.
Yeah.
Like it's a great thing. We rehearse up there.
Oh, do you really?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. We go up there and you know stay late. They all go home and we stay late. But you know, I talked with the owner, and you know they're doing this Queen thing. There's all these, you know, with the release of the Queen record, the movie,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
right?
Coming out, yeah.
There's some opportunity for some of the kids to be a part of. I actually don't even know what
They're gonna do.
was it.
They're gonna have like a concert out in the parking lot of one of the theaters or something.
Right,
And let 'em
right,
play.
and let them play.
Oh,
Like,
wow.
While like
Yeah.
the ticket holders are waiting for the thing to start. So
And I'm sure that you know it's some of Alex's influence, and the owner, you know, he's real interested in kind of he's familiar with the music scene, but it's neat to see School of Rock not being this cookie cutter thing, but
Yeah.
actually being engaged in the real Austin side of rock music.
yeah,
It's
these
neat.
kids they're into it.
They're
man. Like,
good too.
Yeah,
They're
they're good.
actually-
Yeah,
they're
they're
pretty-
good. I mean, I wasn't that good. I mean, I can admit now I sucked when I was that age. It's
Me
like
too.
yeah.
Hey, I'm with you.
they were these kids are good. Like I mean, what's that kid with that
The
dreads, the little blonde kid,
the drummer guy.
the drummer kid that like has his own business card. He gave me his card. He's like 9. He's 9.
He's like 9, he's killing it.
I go,
I
hey
know
man,
you're
you're really
talking
good. He
about-
goes, thanks a lot. Here's my card. It has all his social networks, his
Yeah.
number, his emails. Like
I think his dad, like,
Totally. Oh,
his dad,
yeah.
no, but his dad, like, either works for a drum company in town or owns, is it 7 Drums or something like that? I know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
He plays with certain bands. I can't remember. Actually, he's a friend on Facebook, too. I can't remember his name. Yeah, but it's crazy, like, the younger kids, because, I mean, of course, the younger kids have YouTube. They have all this
stuff we didn't
stuff
have.
we didn't have.
Yeah.
I mean, there's kids, you go on, like, on YouTube, and there's kids playing, like, Rush tunes. They're, like, 5 years old. And they're playing it perfect. It's like,
Yeah.
what the hell? I mean, you know, just phenoms. It's like,
Yeah.
it's a...
Yeah, back when we started, I mean, if you were popular in your high school, that
Yeah,
was
yeah, it
that
was
was
like-
like
yeah.
you're the shit.
Yeah,
I mean,
and you were popular, and you were really bad.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, you weren't even that good.
but you played drums, or you owned a guitar.
or you could play.
So therefore,
When Vallejo started, we knew 5 songs, and then this guy, our friend Eric Abernathy, was like, "Hey man, I want y'all to play my party."
Oh, shit.
They built a
Yeah,
stage,
it
you know,
starts with a
The
party.
shitty stage, yeah, the shitty stage and the bad lights. Where they spray paint them and it smells. You can, it's
Yeah.
not, it's on like an infrared bulb, so it's not supposed to be that. So you smell this paint burning and it's bad. But we knew. I think it was Walking the Dog, Should I Stay or Should I Go? I can't remember all the other songs, but there was
Look at you now.
5 songs and we played them. We did, and then we were like, it was packed, and we were like, all right, man, we're done. He goes, dude, like everybody just showing up. You got to play again. I was like.
Same 5 songs.
Same
five
5 songs.
songs.
Hey, different order. different order. Yeah. And then about we iced the kicker for about 2 hours, let everybody get drunk, and then came back on about midnight and played the same 5 songs. But dude, that's I mean, and after that, dude, we were
the same
big
thing.
time.
You caught the bug, yeah.
Huge.
We were big time.
Monstrous.
Like in school, man, it was like, I mean, it was cool. It was cool to be like, because before
So-
that we were nerds.
So you're
like-
playing with your brothers from the beginning?
Yeah, we always played. We started out like my dad, my parents, my mom's from Guatemala, my dad's Mexican. Like they bought us 3 trumpets, and they were like, "I want you guys." My dad was, "I want y'all to be the next Tijuana Brass." We were like,
Nice.
fucking terrible. Like, I'm not gonna get like this. That doesn't get
I
chicks.
can't
Like,
get girls with that. What
like,
the fuck?
I was like, I think I saw that guy on Lawrence Welk, and he wasn't getting any box. Like,
Box.
like, but like,
Any box.
But yeah, man. So like,
Wow, that's a good one.
then my dad goes, man, just learn how to read music, and then you can go from there. You know.
Yeah.
So we're thankful for that. But immediately I was like, I just gave my. I learned, but then I was like, I'm getting a guitar, and like, you know, and Alex was always beating on tables and shit. So it was clearly he was a drummer.
Naturally.
Right.
And Omar was a phenomenal, star trumpet player, like in marching, his first trumpet and all that. He was
Still
Yeah.
solid.
solid.
Also with you too, right?
Yeah, but he kicks my ass.
That's real.
But
Yeah, I
and
fake it.
And
he
I think because
plays.
I already played guitar and drums, he was kind of like, well, I guess I'll play the bass. But then look what kind of bass
I know
player he
he's
is.
awesome
like,
now. Shit.
yeah. So
killer.
so yeah, that we started playing in high school and playing the high school parties, and it was awesome, man. Like, and then we started writing really terrible originals. Like, our first song was about an alien, like falling in love with an alien. Like, I don't even know how it goes anymore, but like,
Should pull that out and redo
Yeah.
it or something.
I was trying to
Nah.
explain it to my mom when I wrote it. She was like, I don't think like. Why don't you just you should write songs about being in love with humans? Like, why, like why an alien? I was like, I don't know. I just think it's kind of cool, you know.
Get some box with those kind of songs.
Yeah, alien box.
Alien box.
box.
Yeah, man. So
It was funny because I saw some pictures of you. I was actually, when I put the, if you ever notice the screens of the Facebook Live, I always put like whoever's on, I'll put a little picture of them on the bottom and
Yeah.
stuff. So I'm looking for pictures of him today, and all the pictures are in widescreen things. So I'm trying to find one that's a little box, right? Then they come across all these older, 4x4, like the regular
Right.
box.
Square.
Square. There we go. That's what I'm looking for.
Yeah, box means a different thing tonight.
Box.
Yeah, where's it?
Box means
Sorry.
vagina.
sorry.
And I see a lot of old pics of Dave with guitars. So are you a guitar player back in the day, or still are?
Guitar, bass.
Really?
Yeah, my shoulders are so messed up now. I can't really play. I can't hold my arm forward
Yeah.
very much. I actually need a shoulder replacement. So now I have to do what I do.
just
so that-
rock.
It's
You
just
have
rock.
to be a singer.
It has to have to be a singer.
Dude, your
be up front.
guitar player. He's so good. Like he reminds me like I don't know how do you say that guy's name in the Scorpions? Is it Matthias Hobbs?
Oh,
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, yeah.
Matthias Jabs you're
it's not
talking
the Schinker guy. It's the other guy.
Jabs.
Matthias Jabs or whatever his
Jabs
name is.
his name, yeah.
Like he reminds me like he's that good. Like he's that like
Well, he's available.
arena
He's
rock
available.
guy. He's arena rock dude, you know. But
Yeah, it was weird seeing him the other night because I thought his last gig was at Batfest, and I saw him in there, and I was talking to him. And I'm like, "Hey, he's come to see the show."
so he's not playing with you anymore.
Off and on, right?
We're going to New York without him.
Well, that's
He's a really close friend of mine. But, he became not a band member and kind of a hired gun.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you gonna take who you gonna take with you to guitar?
Yayo.
Oh, well,
Oh shit.
he's
that's
terrible. No,
solid.
no, he's
He knows a
great.
thing.
Yeah. No, I noticed that because I saw him get up and jam with you guys, so that's cool.
Yeah, we were going to have just him play, but it was kind of, as great of a guitar player was, it was kind of a lot of pressure for him.
Yeah.
So we kept Richard on. Richard wanted, the abrupt ending didn't feel good for our friendship. So
Yeah.
he's still there in the periphery,
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's good. I mean, it's good to see it through. I mean, all our friends. So, but I just started saying he's
Yeah, I
a
went-
badass. I mean,
Yeah,
He's
he's
an
a
amazing
player. He really is.
He's got the left hand.
yeah,
That left hand is unbelievable.
yeah. Well, I never. It's cool that you're here. But like, I have so many questions. like,
Go ahead, man.
like, I don't know,
you're here.
Clinic time.
Hey, dude, go get a sandwich. But
you, bro.
like,
Your excuse.
so did you start rocking out before? How did the attorney thing? I mean, it's very rare. I mean, let's be honest, it's very rare. You see a rock I mean, it'd be one thing if you were like in an '80s cover band, but you're a rocker. Like, how does that and a turn like that? Those don't go together normally. Is that am I wrong? Does that make sense?
It's a really cool dichotomy, man. Like I get sick of one and I go to the other, and it's like a total relief from it.
And I think that's cool. That's what makes it so fascinating. You know, like I've always been fascinated with it because I was just like when I saw your billboards, I'm like, that's really cool. Like
there's one over here when you drive in.
That's why you were saying the only pictures you saw was this because there's only pictures of him as a freaking billboard. Damn billboards. But So did you start Attorney or did you start? What did you do first?
I sang in a band in high school, and then I sang in a band in college, and then I sang in a band in law school, and then after law school I started playing bass, and then I started playing guitar. And so I've always done it. I didn't take the leap like you guys did, which I respect. I didn't say, no, I'm going for this.
Yeah.
I've kind of, in a way, pushed out and went the capitalist route, you know.
Yeah.
Well, there's benefits to that, too.
There's benefits to that, too, because, you probably have more money than we do. So.
Altogether, combined.
But,
Probably.
But so then you just went... Because in the Dharma Kings, that's your band. You started. That's your thing, your baby.
Yeah, I was in a band, and I played guitar, wrote all the songs and everything like that. And then I was having a problem with my shoulder, and there was a band called Target Practice. You know Joe Carrera?
Yeah.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah, he was playing bass, and they had a band, and their singer quit. So it was just about that time. So I joined that band. We became Dharma Kings, and then all of those guys are gone, and then another 8 guys are gone until we get to where we are here.
Yeah, that's kind of that's what happened with you. I mean, your band now is a great band, but it's completely different from what it started.
Yeah.
They've been together a while now, though.
Yeah.
You got it.
How long was Dharma Kings?
Probably 5 years.
5 years.
I'll
6, right?
About 6 or 7.
And I'll tell you, when I saw the biggest change is when Willie came in. When Willie came in, and I saw you guys over to Texas Mist. Did I MC that show? I don't remember. I probably
no.
did.
It's been stages though.
I know, but when I noticed the when it really dawned on me, when I thought that they fucking had it, was when I saw him with Willie. When Willie got in that band, and everything
Definitely
to me just gelled. And I think I called you the next day and said, or talked to you the next day, say, hey man, what you got going on right now is this is the secret sauce and the soup that you guys need, because
Willie Jansen's a rock star, man. It's like Seattle's gonna want to take credit for him, but Austin, we got to take credit for him because he's gonna leave my band. He's gonna take off that kid.
But what I'm saying is, as a collective unit right now, it's a great band.
Him and Yayo are getting really tight, man. Like at our rehearsal space, Yayo will show up in the morning. He'll jam all day. We'll show up at 8 or whatever. We'll play for 3 hours, and then Yayo and Willie will jam. They'll take turn on drums.
Yeah, I saw a video with Willie playing drums the other night.
Yeah,
and then Yayo.
It's sick, man.
So
it's
they're like
all that youth.
And you were telling me that he's like writing like a madman now.
Both of those guys, they just shit out riffs. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
With
That's
me
awesome.
and Richard writing songs, it was very meticulous and tedious, and we'd write one song every 2 or 3 months.
Yeah, as we talked about earlier, we're like a lot of compromise, and sometimes it's not fun. You know what I mean, like, because you got to fight, and you're like, some guys like, I got the greatest idea, and you're like, it's okay. Like, and you're like, like if you bust your bubble, you're like, man, do you think I just wrote the freaking masterpiece, and they're like, whatever.
This shit is the hook.
Yeah.
No, it's not.
Sounds like Creed. Like Creed, what the fuck? Creed. What the fuck do you mean by that?
So I'm gonna go do another solo record. Fuck you guys.
Yeah.
Well, and the chemistry is critical, right?
Yeah.
And I've noticed with you guys, you've gotten to you've been kind of mixing it and changing it and getting new guys, and you finally got a chemistry, and I feel like we have the same.
Yeah.
Like I've got a chemistry of guys now that, for better or for worse, that's what that band ought to be.
Yeah.
Well, you guys are close too, and you're hanging out.
Oh yeah, you guys are like family brothers. Yeah.
That's huge.
Right. And so always strive for that chemistry. Right. And it doesn't always have to be that you're family. It can be that you write well together. Right. I've worked, Push Monkey, there were times where we weren't family. right? But we were family, right? Because of just the history, the songs that we wrote, the places that we'd been together.
Yeah.
Right. We lost touch with each other for a little while. I mean, there were times where I didn't speak to him for like 2 years.
Damn.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
But yet, at any moment, I could call one of them up, and they'll drop whatever and they're there for me. It's same. You know.
Well, the history you guys have.
Right.
The
That chemistry is really what life's about.
Yeah.
For sure.
I just, like I said, I just think with Dharma Kings for me, because I saw like a lot of the, you know, guys coming in and going out and stuff, and I saw that for a little bit. And when I saw Willie come in, that's when I was like, it really, something just like snapped in my brain and go, man, that's what they need to be doing. That's the dude right there that's going to, you know, really kind of pull them guys together. And I could see it on stage. I could see how you guys were like gelling together. You sounded awesome. I mean, the songs, the older songs that you had sounded better. I mean, the vibe on stage was great. I mean, it was just a whole different band, just with that one dude coming in, you know, which is, to me, that's what I saw. That's when it clicked for me.
Interesting how that happened.
That's when
well,
it
he's a
clicked for me.
force. I mean, when we came up here and when Dharma Kings came up in here, he was the force, man. He drank that whole thing.
Oh,
Yeah, he drank a whole.
I said about 8 words. Mike said about 7.
I said about 4, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny.
He said where Tony's at. He drank. I had a bottle of it was tequila, right?
I think it was.
No, that wasn't
vodka
that one.
was
That's a
in
different
that.
bottle. Yeah. The bottle's in here somewhere. Anyways, but it was like 3/4 full, and he drank the whole bottle, and he was just on fire for like an hour and a half. He just went off for like an hour and a half.
That's
just
crazy.
Going, if you listen to it, it's like, it's just like, you know, in all the comments I was getting like the next day in text messages. You know, Willie is my spirit animal and all this kind of shit. Dave was sitting there. I was just going like this and just.
We were just giggling. I mean, he's 22 years old and he's a force.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
but his energy is just awesome, you know, and it's just.
What I think is kind of cool that I'm seeing it with, I mean, now, and you guys have been kicking it for a little bit, like the Dharma Kings, and now you get the Black Heart Saints.
Oh,
and
yeah.
You got 333. Like, the rock scene in Austin was kind of like stale about
Really
5 or
was.
6 years. It was terrible. And I don't mean nothing against any rock bands that were doing anything back then, but like, it's cool to see, like, and it's not even really a resurgence. It's always been there. It's just like,
Yeah.
it's cool to see those are you guys, the rock bands are the ones doing good. And Vallejo, we're kind of like classic rock already. We're like the Mexican Bad Company, but like, you know, but you know, like,
That's a good one. All right.
but you know, it's just cool to see that the rock still. It's because Austin's not really a rock town. You're like, and that's what's so cool about
Yeah.
Big Don. Austin's not. Yeah, we have the hip hop people, but Austin's not really a hip hop town.
Man,
it's not.
it's funny because Austin, for all of its live capital, and you know, music capital of the world or whatever, it really does center on blues and funk, right?
That's
there
true. In Texas
there
country or country, whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
right, exactly. And there are so many cool bands that are hip hop bands, that are rock bands, metal bands like that.
There's a big. Like,
there is
heavy-
this
heavy
really
metal
kind
band.
of is a music capital of the world, but we don't realize it. like this town doesn't quite understand what it has, which is
Yeah.
kind of an interesting. You know, maybe that's cool,
Yeah.
right?
Well, that's because they go to ACL like for 6 days. You know, they have all the
Yeah.
rock they need for the whole year.
Yeah, it's true.
All these
Right.
other festivals
When-
popping up.
when you can go downtown and watch a band that you've never heard of on a Thursday night that will slay you.
Yeah, it was really good.
There's a lot of them
in
too.
this town. Like you can't do that in any other town. You really can't. And I remember I had a buddy of mine from Houston, and he was like, "Hey man, I'm kind of between some things, and I want to come up and just hang out." And I was like, "Let's just go see some shows." Right? This was a couple years ago, and he was like, "Well, is there gonna be?" And I was like, we'll just go around and see some. We'll just go wherever, and see who's playing." And we walked in on like some amazing shit, just club hopping, because on a Thursday night, Austin had the coolest bands that you could imagine on a Thursday night playing for free to
Yeah.
nobody.
Well, that's how Robert Wagner found the Reverent Few. Remember, they opened up for Robert to sing for the Black Crowes show a while back. He found them like they were playing some place downtown,
That band's phenomenal.
and they're fucking awesome.
Phenomenal bands.
They're awesome.
The other band that's rock that's blowing my doors is that have y'all heard the Torino Black? Trino
No.
Black.
Yeah, I saw the
name.
post. I'm gonna check
Yeah,
them
I
out.
think
You got to check them out. It's a chick singer. She sings like the Wilson chick from Heart, but the band is like metal. Like
Oh wow.
it's they are man,
I
they're
would dig
dangerous.
that.
They're dangerous. You
Yeah,
got to
right,
check them out.
Right.
Like I walked in, same thing. With Terry, we were walking in the car, and they were playing it. What's that place? Is it Cheer Up Charlie's? Yeah, that has a rock. No, I heard her. She was like, yeah, and I heard the just riff.
Right,
Right, I was getting in the car, and I closed the door, and I was like,
gotta go back in.
Yeah, check
what
that
are you
out.
doing? I go, I'm going wherever
That
that
is.
is. Like, and then I went, and I mean, they just blew my
love that
doors,
about this
man.
town.
I literally went up to them, and I was like, I don't know how I can help y'all, but whatever, I need to help y'all. What can I do? And then so now we're making a video, but they seem to have their shit together, so that's another rock band, dude. It's like, I never would have found them if I didn't walk by, you know.
That's what I was gonna ask you. How did you get into doing the videos?
I just kind of I just started doing my own, you know, like from Vallejo.
Yeah.
You know, all the last 10 Vallejo videos I made them all, you know. And my brothers were totally cool. They're like, "Fuck yeah, we ain't gotta pay nobody." Like, I'm like,
Right.
I was like, "Hey,
Hey,
man, can y'all throw me?
Did
Can
you
y'all
do
throw me
the-
like a couple
Did you do the
hundos
Dead
just for
Love
like,
ones
you
at
know,
all, or
huh?
did you do the Dead Love ones? Or
I did the Dead Love ones.
Yeah,
I've
those
done
are
all
great.
those. Yeah,
Those are great.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
I mean, hot chicks though.
yeah,
can't hurt.
no, it's not that
helps.
hard. But that, you know, I started doing those for like my own bands and my solo, all my solo stuff. I do it all myself. So then people were kind of like, "Man, that video is cool. Who did that? Me? Oh shit, I want you to do it." So it kind of just fell in my lap.
Yeah, kind of ballooned up.
Yeah, and I can, you know, charge them because my brothers won't pay me anything. Like, so
my brothers are cheap.
yeah, no, they're like, hey man, make that video for like right now. They're like, we got a new album coming. Like, hey man, we got to make a video like for these 3 songs. I'm like, okay, am I gonna get any money or
No.
no, man? Like,
You get the exposure. That's
yeah,
what.
yeah,
Yeah, I got enough of that. I
Yeah.
want some cash.
but yeah. So
Yeah, because I want to really for the intro, I want to do like a promotional video for it. Just you know how the music is for it. You missed it. Did you hear the music yet?
of what
The intro for the podcast?
that has the Cobra and the lightning and stuff on it. Is that-
No. There's an actual audio intro.
Oh no. Would you do
It's
that?
got a
from?
British chick.
It's got
Oh.
a British
I
chick
always
on
have
it.
a British chick.
Where'd you get the British chick?
Huh? In British
MTV.
Brit-
In Brit-
MTV.
In
No,
the
no.
UK.
There's a guy that made it for me and stuff. But I want to get a little like a YouTube clip, like a promotional
Yeah.
video for it. I mean, the thing lasts like a minute and a half. So probably just play the whole thing and just do a little video for it.
Dude, I got a funny thing about British chicks, and God love them, but that's such a sexy thing when they're like talk like this, and it's like, you know what? But when you date one and she's yelling at you and bitching at you,
In British.
it's in British, it's the fucking worst. Like
So abrasive, huh?
it's terrible. They make you feel so terrible. You're just and they come with these words, you know, like these words
So
that we don't
cheeky,
know.
or-
Yeah,
like,
yeah. This is
what does that mean?
yeah. I'm like, what is that? Yeah, like.
You're listening to CobraCast.
Put your headphones on.
You're listening to CobraCast.
The cobra injects deadly venom through its fangs, like
You're ready.
toxins through a pair of hypodermics.
Who's playing that guitar?
Kevin Gutierrez. To the end. To the end.
This is the CobraCast. And here's your host, Bobby Sharon.
That's great, man.
Yeah, happy anniversary, brother.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
It's
2 years. Episode 169 tonight.
I'm gonna make a track like that for my chick when I walk into the bedroom.
All right.
And here,
I was actually going to have them play that over Hanovers the other night just for Hihas. I always want to see what it sound over PA.
she'd just be like, you know, I try to bring the sexy on and show up my underwear, and I can do like the swinging dick thing. She's just like,
Well, what the deal
You
was,
don't need foreplay ananymore.
I just got my intro tape. When
she's
I
like,
come
can we
in.
hurry this up? Because can we hurry this up? Because I'm trying to watch The Office.
The Office.
Yeah,
I'm watching Ozark, by the way.
yeah.
No, what happened with that was there's a guy, Kevin Gutierrez. It's Assembly Line Studios. he was doing a contest over at the Texas Mist to try to find, the next new artist kind of a thing, new bands.
Yeah.
And he came up here with Jim, and he was saying to me, he goes, man, you need to get an intro for the podcast. And I'm like, man, who's got money for that? That kind of a thing. So, made a couple deals with him and stuff, and within like a couple, 2-3 days later, he sent me that.
That's awesome.
And I'm like, fucking A, man, I love it. I would play it 10 times a podcast, No. So, yeah, he's never heard it. So I want to get maybe do a, like a little, some kind of video clip for it or something. I don't know.
That'd be awesome. Yeah,
something crazy like that. So if you got any ideas, let me know. So anyways.
We'll start with a British chick. Maybe some snakes.
Some snakes.
Yeah. A
Snake
cobra.
pit. Nice.
A cobra.
Hey, so Josh Roush owns a bunch of reptiles and has a reptile business. So if you need snakes.
Are they big ones or just?
Well, so we're going to do a video for the new 333 for Monster.
Oh, really?
How's that coming, by the way?
It's great. And we have actual live snakes. Yeah.
When's that coming out?
That's a good question.
That's a good question.
Is it
filmed it already,
edit,
right?
or do you still have to film more?
Oh, we're still filming. Right. But last weekend they did a bunch of shots with snakes. And we have this weird mask by a guy named John Province who does masks in town.
I saw the masks, yeah.
Yeah, they're kind of creepy and cool. And Josh brought a bunch of snakes, like black and white snakes and cool looking snakes. So if you ever need snakes, CobraCast.
CobraCast.
I know a guy.
I'm going to have it hanging from the ceiling.
I got a snake. I got a snake guy.
A snake guy. I got
snake
a
guy.
reptile guy.
So what does he have? Just like snakes and that's it? Or you got
lizards? So he travels like once a quarter or so to Florida. His dad lives in Florida, and they've got like a snake business.
Really?
Yeah.
Good Lord.
Yeah.
The first chick I ever dated here in Austin.
What a transition that was.
He's going to tie it together.
It ties together well. She was hot, yeah. I think she was a stripper, so like,
of course.
But she was really cool and very artistic, and liked food and could make shit. So she was definitely the chick that you want to like go home with and just hang out. She had a cool house, cool art, goth stuff everywhere. Deal breaker. She had these big iguanas. They were like this big. And they would sleep with her. And then she also had like tarantulas. And she would let them roam around freely.
Oh no.
I was
no.
Well, the freaky one's the best in bed.
I know.
That's what I heard.
Yeah, that's what I heard. But dude, I was like, I'm sorry.
I gotta go.
I mean, I tried one night, but I was like, dude, like literally like, and then here's the thing. One of the iguanas, because it was warm there, I guess, one of them liked to sleep in between her legs.
Oh shit!
So I couldn't get down there.
But not quite so lovable.
You want to talk about cock blocker? Fucking iguana, dude. But yeah, dude. So I was like, oh man, I was like, we can be friends, but I'm out of here.
I gotta go. Hey, baby, can you move the iguana a little to the left?
The iguanas. I got used to iguanas, but I was like, can you put the tarantulas back in their aquarium? Because like I can't have them crawling around.
I can't be sleeping.
No, she had like 5 or 6 of them. They were just. But I was like, how do you not like when you wake up to pee? Like how do you like not step on one? Or I mean like. It was just the weirdest thing. It was the first chick I dated here.
Wow.
Yeah.
Whatever happened to her?
What an awesome experience you had.
I don't know.
She's probably working at some circus show or some shit.
She's probably really successful. And hates me now.
She's probably gone viral already 10 times.
Right.
Yeah.
Owns a social media company or something.
You Zach Baker? Remember Zach Baker? He played in Ultrasonic and all that.
Oh,
he looks a lot like me. He goes, man, F you. And I go, why? He goes, the first day I was in Austin, when I moved here, some girl came up and slapped me, and he was like, "What the hell?" She goes, "Oh God, I'm sorry. I thought you were AJ Vallejo."
That happened to me too.
Just get a T-shirt that says "I am not AJ Vallejo" on it.
Yeah.
So
Alex actually has a shirt that says "I'm not AJ."
Does he really?
Yeah, Patrick got it for us. But then I got one that says "I'm not Alex." So
you could easily tell you guys apart, though. It's
like, if you get to know us, you know.
No, but I even I really don't know.
And I'll admit, throughout our history, there have been days where I'm like, I wasn't sure, but now it's like now
I
it's
could totally tell.
obvious.
Yeah, I could totally tell.
Yeah.
I can't tell.
But see, they change their look, and that's what throws it off a little bit. Sometimes he'll go goatee and longer hair, and then Alex will go short hair, and I'm like, oh, wait a minute.
We don't talk. It's not like we talk. Hey man, we just.
Let's throw 'em off.
He'll show up at the studio. I'll be like, I was rocking that shit last week. Like, what's going on?
Have you guys ever done the twin moment thing where you'll go out with the guy's girlfriend?
No, we don't.
Like, do you ever pull off the twin?
Not we did. We in school we changed classes to fool the teachers. But like,
See?
yeah, we did that.
That's
but like,
fucking awesome. That's so cool.
I did the girlfriend thing because then you'd be kind of like if the chick was kind of like, well, hey man,
And then you have an issue.
your girlfriend blew me, but hey man, and she didn't know like, man, what the fuck you blow?
But if it was you,
But she thought it was me, so it's not really
it's really
cheating.
you.
So yeah, I didn't want to take a chance with my
Oh
girlfriend.
my God.
Blowing my twin brothers.
See, there's a whole nother level of coolness of being a twin. I kind of want a twin.
I don't know. Unless the other twin gets you some major trouble, then you're like you're a target.
Sure. Sign me up.
Hey, I was going to ask you, and it just hit my brain. I got a weird brain. It fires all over the place. You got a big gig in New York coming up, right?
Big time, right?
Big time, big time.
Yeah. Well, we're opening for Rat. Which,
Oh, sweet! It's my favorite band, dude. Like
Really?
ever.
Is it really?
Yeah. My
I got some
favorite
stories
band.
about that.
Really? That's your favorite?
It's my favorite band.
Of
and,
all
me-
time.
and Alex's favorite. As
Hey.
twins, favorite
All
band.
right.
Yeah.
I know you don't have any CDs anymore, but do you have the EP on a CD?
The
Yeah.
Time Coast one? Yeah, I got it.
Do you?
I got every record. I got all their
Oh, yeah.
live
Wow,
stuff.
really?
Okay.
I didn't-
Yeah.
Because I can't find that
thought you were
EP on a
kidding.
CD.
No, dude. I mean, I know it's sad,
So
right?
Where are you playing in New York?
Paramount.
Oh,
In
sweet.
what? In New York
It's a
City?
big place, isn't it?
It's in Long Island. It's on Long Island.
And it's obviously the incarnation now that's Cruiser and
And Piercy, that's it.
Piercy's in it, and that's
Yeah,
about
that's
it.
it.
I
Yeah,
think-
this Warren's
I thought-
out.
I heard Warren was back in.
They're
Nah,
trying
I
to get
don't think
Warren
so.
back in. A lot of it has to do with just him and Steven are, man, you can quiz me on Rat. I know all
That whole
yeah.
band is
So-
I'll tell you, you know what you need to listen to? If you go onto YouTube, it's like Robin Crosby's last interview. He's in a hospice,
Yeah,
and he goes through the whole history of Rat.
yeah.
And it's like a 2-hour conversation. He's like in the hospice. He's dying of AIDS. He's laying the whole thing out. He doesn't mention Bobby Blotzer one time in 2 hours. I don't understand how, but he talks about like how they got together. Going through the EP all the way up till when they
Yeah.
broke up and whatever.
Well, Steven's book is actually fun to read. Like,
Is it really?
Yeah, you should read it. I forget the name. I think it's called like Sex, Rat and Roll, or Sex, Drugs, and Rat and Roll, or something.
Yeah.
It's a great book, man. Like, but so you guys, y'all gonna play with those guys?
Yeah, next Wednesday night.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So it's just the two of you guys, or
No, we're the
Two
middle
bands?
band. There's a band. We only have 30 minutes.
That's all you need.
But I'm wondering how many people. I'm hoping, because it has a general admission and it has these balconies up, and I've really never played where there's people up in the balcony.
Yeah,
so I'm
yeah,
hoping
yeah.
there's enough, but it's a Wednesday night, so I don't know.
I think it'd be awesome. 'Cause
But the place that I took the gig really because Billboard said it's the number 5 venue in the country, and then Polestar said it's the number 6 venue in the world.
oh wow,
That's why I had to post a picture of the place because I was
What's
like,
the
oh my
venue?
God. It's called Paramount. It's only 5 years old. It's got like jumbotrons, and it's got a general admission, and then it's got seats that go up, and then balconies all the way around, and it's all like brand new and killer.
they probably do a lot of theater productions there and stuff. I would think.
Yeah,
I mean,
sounds awesome.
yeah.
Well, man, that's awesome, man. Me and Alex, did we talk about it? Like for 50th, which will be next year, our 50th birthday, we're trying to get Rat to play our birthday party, but they're not cheap. They're not cheap with Steven. You can get the other, the not
Jizzy Pearl.
You can get the Jizzy Pearl for like
Jizzy Pearl.
you can get the Jizzy Pearl Rat
$300
for like a grand, yeah.
Not even that.
But Steven, whether is he's hit or miss with his vocals, but like his name in Rat is expensive. He's the money guy. He's the money.
Is it really? Wow.
Yeah.
He was just here with by himself though, and I think he only brought like about 100, 125.
That's right. He
people
did play
at
over off of 6th Street, right?
Dirty Dog. Yeah.
Dirty Dog. Yeah.
Hey man, call me. We'll do Push Monkey.
Push Monkey and Rat and Dharma
Push Monkey
King.
and Rat.
And Dharma
Dharma
Kings.
Kings.
And Blackheart Saints. Okay, see, so it's already happened.
Done.
And what do you call it? Dirty Worms. Put them on there too.
Yeah, but we're gonna do like a what do you call it? The fun thing where people just would, and then what the package will be like they'll get like everybody like a table, and then kind of make it worth their while.
Where's this gonna be?
Right, VIP style.
What's that?
Where's this gonna be? You
Oh,
know?
the 80 already said we could have it at 310. At 310 He's like, man, if you sell enough, you can do it upstairs. I was like, no, we don't want to make it crazy, you know.
When's the date on this? I mean, when's your birthday?
December 23rd, but
Okay.
we'll do it like second week of December because that's
You
like
can't
right around
get into-
Christmas. Yeah.
Yeah.
They get too close into Christmas.
Yeah. Because people were like, we can't go. You know, like I'm sure
Only
I'm
money.
sure those guys
You
at
gotta do
Rat.
it
I'm
at-
sure they probably want to be home for
You got to do
Christmas.
it at holiday party time.
Yeah, like
which
around
is
like
by
Yeah,
the
and the
second,
thing
by the
is-
15th.
yeah. You got to be.
over
Yeah,
after the
you know,
15th.
it's like
And
about
that's
the second week.
Have you talked to him yet or no?
We talked to their agent. They gave us the Stephen Piercy price and the
Oh,
non-Stephen Piercy price.
So they
Wow,
actually have
that's
they actually have
cool.
2 prices.
Huh? Yeah,
Oh,
but not
yeah.
anymore. Right now, it's straight up. It's
Stephen
that,
Piercy.
It's
Yeah, yeah.
It's Stephen and Juan, and they're like I said, they're trying to get Warren, but I think Bobby's out.
Bobby's
out
done.
for
Bobby's
good.
done. Yeah, he's not even
Yeah.
he's not even a possible part of the equation. They fucking hate him big
Yeah,
time.
It's that's what's so crazy. Like, but I guess you make all that money together. Like, like, what's so bad that you guys can't just get your shit together? I don't know, man. And I don't know. I can't judge them because I don't know how bad it is. But
What was the book saying? I mean, about all that. Did it address any of that?
yeah, it talks about it's really
Was it drugs and all that?
the drugs, but also
Oh,
just
yeah,
that
this
Bobby's
is-
kind of like a he's just kind of an asshole, self-centered. He just don't care. He doesn't really care about.
narcissism.
Yeah. He doesn't care about any of those guys. He don't care what happens to him, and he actually thinks. I think he was one of the founders, him and Steven, but there's just a big old horn lock of who is the founder of the band. Bobby thinks he's the founder of the band, and that Steven is kind of just like he got him in the band.
Well,
I'm
it's
just
sort of
gonna-
like the Jeff Tate and Queensrÿche thing. It's a yin and yang thing.
it's
with
kind of a lot
two-
of the same thing.
Yeah, it's the same thing, almost.
But not that like Rat is as epic great as Aerosmith, but like for a while when Steven and Joe were fighting and they were talking about like replacing Steven, I was like, come on, like when nobody wants to hear
they were
Aerosmith.
talking about bringing Lenny Kravitz.
yeah,
in.
I know. Like
Oh,
nobody.
really? That would,
yeah,
that would,
yeah.
I'll tell you, Aerosmith with Lenny Kravitz.
Yeah,
that's an idea.
Well, they did have records without Joe Perry.
Yeah, that's.
Yeah.
I mean, when you replace a singer, that's a big deal.
Yeah,
A real
yeah,
big deal.
but I thought that record was great. The Rock in a Hard Place.
Oh,
Rock and
yeah.
Hard Place.
Was
yeah.
it Jim Crespo was playing drums?
Yeah.
Guitar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That record was good, man. Like, but like we're going. I'm talking about like Steven Tyler vocals for Aerosmith.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, you
that's
you
it.
can't replace that.
It's
Yeah.
distinctive. There's no.
I don't want to hear a record. Aerosmith. Can't call it Aerosmith without
Well, that's when you hear like the Steven Tyler solo stuff, or you hear the new Steve Perry. Perfect example.
Yeah.
New Steve Perry, right? You're like, oh, Journey came out with something new. I mean, it sounds like Journey.
Yeah,
I mean,
'cause-
no matter what he sings, it's gonna sound like Journey.
Yeah, because he's singing it.
Yeah, but
No, it's true though. Like even if because we were at the Alice in Chains show, right? And the new guy, it's funny. I think you were the one that told me. Like
Yeah.
we were talking about the new guy, and he was like, he's actually been in the band longer
the old guy.
than
Yeah.
Lane ever was. And
Yeah.
I was like, I didn't
Yeah.
realize that.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
Now that you say that, you're right.
Yeah.
He's totally been in the band longer. Like he has more longevity in that band and more history in that band. But they're still to this day trying to define history with the current band because
Yeah.
it's so much built on the original band.
It's just
Yeah.
like Stone Temple Pilots. Their new guy. Have you heard that guy yet?
No.
I have.
He sounds just like Scott Weiland, and it's like when you listen to it, it's like eerie. You're like going, oh man, should I be
That's how
listening to
this
this?
kid at Alice in Chains kid. He's really
Sounds
good.
just like
And
him.
he's good. He's a
Yeah.
solid,
Oh, yeah.
super strong front guy. Looks cool, does his
Yeah.
thing.
See, I just don't know if a band like that's what I'm saying. There's that, and Lane Staley was definitely a huge force. But like, there's probably 3 bands that can't do without their singers, and it's Led Zeppelin,
Oh yeah.
Aerosmith, and maybe one other band. I don't know who that would be, but I guess Rolling Stones. I mean, you can't do the Rolling Stones without Mick Jagger.
Well,
You
as a
can't-
singer, you really can't replace your singer.
Yeah, I mean, Push Monkey without Tony Park is.
It's just
Yeah,
a
Bob,
monkey.
hey, Bob Schneider is the new singer of Push Monkey.
It's all monkey. No
He might
push.
actually be able to pull it off. That guy might get it.
You never know. It could happen. I mean, I think the only band that like really kind of pulled it off was when when Dave Lee Roth left Van Halen, and then Sammy Hagar came in. That
Yeah.
was an
No,
okay
true.
thing.
Different,
or
but Sammy
Brian
was
Jones
cool.
with AC/DC. I mean, it's the same. It can happen, but yeah,
You
look
know
at
who I really like though, and I don't know his name, but who's the guy? Journey, the little Asian dude who sings his.
He does a
ass
bang up
off.
job.
Man, he's phenomenal. He doesn't look anything
Arnell?
like.
You talking about
Sounds
Arnell?
like- I don't
He's
know
got
his
black
name.
straight hair.
His name's Arnell.
He sounds like Joe.
That's his
Joe
name,
Perry,
right? Yeah.
Or no,
Joe
yeah.
Perry.
There's a great documentary on Netflix. Have you seen
my
that
God.
documentary?
I
He's-
have. I
he's-
have. Yeah.
Wow, like
Full of energy. He's badass. He sings.
it was funny because
just
there's a scene in there where Neil Sean's getting on to him, like, man, you can't be running around like that. Like, you're gonna you got to pace yourself. And he's like, I'm just so excited. Like,
Yeah, they showed it was
He's
his,
like
it was his
gleeful.
first show. It was like I think they did like in the Philippines or something, right?
Yeah, and he got real winded like halfway through the set.
Yeah, because they have this big like walkway around the whole stage, and he's just running around, and you're all just standing like, "Oh, this guy's gonna pass the fuck out,"
But he didn't.
No,
Yeah.
No, he carried it. I got to tell you.
I just thought it was funny that they were getting on to him like.
yeah, he was
pace yourself.
he was like a homeless guy in like the Philippines or something. He played in a cover band, but he was actually like sleeping
Yeah.
on the beach and
Right.
Yeah,
Send
well, he
him-
was
send him a video.
supporting like a family of like I don't know if his mom. He was supporting like 4 or 5 of his family members singing like in a cover band.
Yeah,
you
he's
know?
playing in this band called the Zoo. That's what it was. And
Wow.
yeah, but it was a cover band, and that's where they saw him. They saw him on, they got so desperate for a singer that they went on YouTube and they're just looking up, just whoever. And Jonathan Cain found him, and that, that's the end of the story on that one,
That's
And he's been in the
awesome.
band for like what, 10, 12 years? It's been a long.
Yeah, he's
a good
been in the
while.
band for a while.
Right. So like,
Yeah.
he's a staple now. It's
Yeah,
amazing.
he's not like the new guy, like like people they're still
Yeah.
selling tickets like crazy and
Yeah, I mean,
I mean, he'll always be the new guy. Like
Yeah.
it's sort of like
30 years later, he'll
Yeah.
be the
it's
new
like
guy.
it's like Ronnie Wood with the Stones, right? He's still considered the new guy, even though he got hired in 1978 or something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
yeah, Alex in Vallejo, Alex Geismer is still the new guy, and I think
I know, right?
He's
Isn't
like
that crazy?
been with us for like 8 or 9 years.
I love that guy. I love fucking
Yeah.
Alex Guys, man. He's such a good dude.
Yeah, he's awesome, man.
And that's the thing about Vallejo. You talk about, oh, we're the old dudes or whatever, man. But you guys still fucking bring it though. Every
Man,
time
we
I
just
see you
like playing-
guys.
I think it's also just comes from just appreciating now that we're older. I think back then we were just didn't give a shit and we were cocky and kind of like entitled. Felt like, oh yeah, we're the shit. Like,
Yeah.
and we didn't really pay attention to like having fun playing music. We were just kind of like we were worried about if the crowd was cool or having fun or if somebody was playing
I'll
wrong.
tell you the thing that I appreciate when I see you guys play, and I have for years.
Yeah.
But even today, like if I go see you, you guys read each other's minds. Like you've
yeah, it's
been
definitely
you've been
telepathic. Yeah.
you've been doing it for so long, and even though like Bruce isn't a brother,
Yeah.
he's a brother.
Oh, for sure.
like
man.
there's no doubt.
Yeah, I mean, even
Like
when
you guys click,
yeah.
right? And I remember seeing you with Heath, and I'm
Yeah, and
I
I'll
know
leave-
the history.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, and I
Right.
love playing with Heath, but it's not like and I love Heath, but I missed Bruce the whole time he was gone, and he was gone because Omar and him had a falling out. But we tried every day. We'd talk to Omar, hey man, can Bruce come back in the band?
Right,
Not yet.
right.
Fuck that guy. I'm like,
Right. And Heath is
Oh,
awesome.
I didn't know that.
yeah,
From Sunflower Days. I loved Heath.
he was great.
Way
He was the
early
next,
on.
and it was so crazy. He went on to marry
other cool-
marry my sister. like
Right, he's family.
Yeah,
really.
so it's like it's some Leonard Skinner shit going on.
But when you watch these guys, man, I tell you, I go and I tell people, like, some people like anything, right? If you like Push Monkey, you don't like Push Monkey,
Yeah.
whatever. You like 3-3, you don't like it, whatever. You like Vallejo, you don't like Vallejo. But I tell them, like, are you, I don't really dig the whole Latin thing, whatever. Okay, but just watch these guys.
Yeah.
Watch how they play off each other. Watch how they have a sixth sense.
Yeah,
When
and,
they
and
play
I feel
together.
that too.
And I've actually turned people that were not so in, like, again, you guys are awesome.
yeah,
But
We
if
weren't
they
into, like, the
so
Latin
necessarily
flair
into
thing.
that,
Yeah, yeah.
they wanted middle or
Yeah.
whatever. They were like, "Oh, dude, I totally see what you're saying." Like, I know, right?
yeah.
Like, there's no doubt you guys are on another level. And
Well, it just
and
comes from
that's
playing
that chemistry.
100,000 gigs, like
That's exactly
Yeah.
that 10,000 hours that I think you and I have talked about.
yeah,
right?
we
When
don't
had lunch that one time.
we haven't written a set list in 15 years. We don't have a set
Exactly.
list. I mean, we just play. And I mean, whoever starts a song, if Omar
It's like, "Oh, we're
starts,
doing that one. Cool.
it's like, oh, that
But
sounds
that-
like that. Like,
But that's the thing that I noticed is like you guys, a lot of bands. How do I put this? A lot of bands, their sets they start off kind of slow and then they kind of build it up, and you know what I mean. And then you guys are like balls to the wall from fucking like from downbeat on one.
Again,
you
it
guys
just
just
comes
fucking go. And
yeah,
it's
we
like,
just
shit.
we're trying to entertain ourselves, and we're not trying to. I, mean,
I know, but
we
it's
just hope
like
that everybody likes it. So
y'all can be here or not. We're
yeah,
gonna-
yeah, like
yeah, because I really watched the other night. I was watching the crowd, and I kind of like went around the club and watched from different angles. But man, it's like
But dude, it came.
it's just a fucking great band, man.
But
You know,
dude, it came from playing,
all those gigs.
Steamboat Wednesday nights in front of nobody. Like, and if a crowd of like 10 people came in for a while for a few drinks, there's some people let's try to
really
we would try really hard to entertain
I
them. And we wouldn't get bummed out if they walked out. It was like, it sucks they had to walk out. But then 3 more people would walk in, like, okay, we're gonna entertain them,
Yeah, but you used to pack them out in Birmingham.
Oh yeah, we did that whole scene. A lot of people don't know that, like, when we moved here, they didn't know that we'd already been doing that in Birmingham for 10 years.
I remember we were on tour and we saw a poster of you guys. Like, it was like an old poster that was in Birmingham.
In Birmingham.
And then I was like, fucking Vallejo right there. And then, we didn't all have phones and shit, but at that time I would have totally
taken a picture of it
and tagged you and all this stuff that you do now would have tagged you. But I was like, those are my boys. We're all because we're like missing home.
Yeah.
And we're doing we're playing to 5 people in Birmingham.
Yeah.
Right.
The Nick.
You guys are
The
back
Nick,
home.
Yeah. Did you play the Nick?
I have played the Nick.
Yeah.
But Dan Nolan, Mike Reeves.
Oh yeah.
I was their lawyer. They had the Nick, the Point,
Yeah, the
Cotton
Point.
Club. Now they have Smith's Old Bar.
Yeah, Smith's Old Bar.
And I have another little fact for you. I was 50% owner for a while of Metro Talent Group with Cast Scripts.
Oh really? And he was our booking agent.
He was
for
your
like
booking
10
agent,
years.
yeah. So I knew of you guys.
And we signed with Sony, and we fought with them to keep Cast Scripts because he was so good to us and so loyal. And then, of course, you go to the major label, they don't want any of those people. Like,
Right,
we're going
they
to put you
want
with our
our
people in
people.
Provident and blah, blah, blah. And it broke his heart. And then after we left Sony, I called Crass and was like, hey, man, can we come back? And he's like, he took it personally. He was hurt. And he was like,
that's
I don't want
Oh
to.
man.
Well, we had Matthew Sweet and Edwin McCain for a little while.
Yeah. That was a big money cash cow for him.
Yeah.
So, so you, what did you do at Metro Talent?
Nothing. He needed money.
There you go.
And then I actually let him just give me the money back.
Yeah.
I didn't try to. I could have gotten a lot more money out of him, but he's a friend of mine.
Yeah.
I
No,
went
he's
to
a good guy, man. He was
his
good.
wedding and all that kind of shit.
Yeah. I love his lingo, man. We're gonna run you guys to the knife and gun circuit and come back and do a few tours. Like, I love his lingo. I was like, oh man,
I don't know
is
what
that
is, but cool.
Yeah, I was like, is that safe? Like,
He worked hard, and his office was up there with Dan Nolan and Mike Reeves. Yeah.
And we played all their clubs, and yeah, man, that's crazy.
I got to bring up one thing, man. I know it's getting a little late, and I know you're getting tired.
Yeah, we got to get out of here.
I know. You got to tell me about Japan a little bit.
My what?
About Japan. You just got back.
Oh yeah, it is freaking awesome, dude. Like, well, I mean, I'm producing this girl, Mindy Bell, and they're a badass like biker rock band called Twisted Throttle, and like this girl, like, and I've done the range and the power this girl sings in is crazy. So they invited me. Their guitar player, his work where he worked or wherever he worked wouldn't let him off work. It's like if I was a boss, I'd be like, dude, Japan, dude, go, man, go.
Right. There's no job that.
Yeah.
can't.
So they were like, hey, don't want to do it, but would you like to do this tour with us? Like, play guitar, and then you can play your set too. You can play your songs too. I was like, when are we going? Like they thought they were like, what? You really we thought you were gonna be like, no, it's cool. I'll pass. I appreciate it. And I was like, tell me the dates. I'm like, we'll make it happen. Dude, it was awesome. It was cool. The people were so nice there. I mean, I don't know if y'all been in Japan.
They love American music.
Yeah. They love They love it. Like,
Hey, Dave Beeson was over there too, right?
yeah, he played in the other band. He played actually in 2 of the bands. That did. You want to talk about a workhorse?
Yeah,
that guy,
he's an animal. Yeah,
yeah.
I
But
love
man,
that.
they
I've known him forever.
Right.
Dave and Broken Teeth.
I
Yeah.
wish like, and not saying because America's they still like their music and stuff, but like, it felt like kind of the way people like music back before
Like it used to
before
be.
they had a drink and a cell phone in their hand.
Yeah.
That's why nobody claps anymore because they're like, yay, hooray, yeah.
If you even get
Before that happened, it was like, fuck yeah, like freaking out, girls' titties and stuff. They don't do that no more. Like
No
they can't-
titties.
They can't show no titties because they're like, I would show my titties, but you know what? Here,
Here's a picture of my titties.
It was funny because LC Rocks went over there actually about a year ago. So I was talking to Matt yesterday.
yeah, they did the same tour because I talked. They were like, they did the same tour. Yeah.
Yeah, and he was telling me that what do you call it? I asked myself, so what are I said, what can you tell me about the Japanese people? And he goes, well, they like a bear. They were looking at us because we were so tall.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
He goes, everywhere we went, it wasn't because we were Americans, because they were looking up at us. And there wasn't many tall people there. I was like, that's all you had.
It's funny you say that because I actually felt like regular when I was there.
Right.
Actually,
I'm a little challenged.
Actually, Chris
in that
Max
regard.
brought this back to me from Japan.
Oh,
so
that's
this
awesome.
is
That's awesome.
so actually they signed it and everything. This was them last year.
That's
Yeah.
cool.
I was not no longer the short guy in the bar. I was like, there was even some people I was like, what? What?
Brother, I feel you.
HJ's a tough
I feel
guy.
you on that. I'm not the tall guy either, so I feel you.
Yeah, but he said the people were super nice. They were totally into the music,
So
totally
nice,
just
man.
Fans of rock music.
just total fans.
Yeah, because
man.
that's the thing. And this was a rock band. I mean, we were doing, just old Zepp stuff, and then obviously the originals. But we were playing some Soundgarden and stuff like that. Like, and some of the other bands that went were like, these. No offense to them, but like these wedding cover bands that play, same 30 songs that every wedding band plays.
No.
Yeah. We went out and just tore ass, and everybody was kind of hanging out for those bands. But especially when she came on, it was like they were just like they were freaking out.
Yeah.
Because they like to see power and they like to see talent. They know talent. It's not impressive to hear. No, and I'm not saying Sally, great song, but it's not a very impressive song. I'm like, okay, I've heard that 100 times. Like,
Yeah.
I actually don't need to hear that ever again in my life. Like,
Right, exactly.
but when you hear a girl come out and sing "Cochise" by Audioslave, just like Chris sang it, like,
Yeah.
that's impressive. I'm like, so and they noted, they recognize that, and it was really cool.
Good deal. Well, I guess we're gonna end this up because everybody's falling asleep, but
What?
no,
I'm still going.
I'm still going. He's good. Thank you all for coming tonight. Thank you, my brother Tony over here, for supporting me since day one. This guy,
and
day
always.
one.
Did you do the first one?
No,
No, it was like
Actually-
what, sixth one maybe.
It was day 6 then.
It was up there, yeah. It was down there. It was down there in the bottom of the
It was
barrel.
before it really counted.
Yeah,
okay,
it does-
yeah.
They stopped counting. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a soft opening to Tony.
I'll tell you what, man. The first like 10 or 15, I can't even listen to. They're just god awful. They're horrible. So, yeah. Since
No, it
day
was at
one,
a party. We were actually at a party.
at a Halloween party.
And
yes.
I remember, and I went up to him, and he was telling me about, yeah, I'm doing this podcast. I'm like, I know, I'm aware of it. And I remember, at that time, the scene in Austin, it was my mission, right, to kind of bring the rock scene back, because for a long time, like, and I'd recently got back into music. It was kind of early 333
Yeah.
days, right? But I remember, like, man, we can totally have a rock scene like we used to have. There are people that want to come see it. They just don't realize it, right?
Yeah.
They can watch on their big screen TVs at home and watch shit on iPhone or whatever, right? YouTube, whatever,
Yeah.
and stay at the house. But you can go out and see a real great show if you just go out and do that. And there are people that want to go out and do that. I would go see them at LC Rock shows. I'd go see them at Suede shows. Unfortunately, a lot of cover bands, Vallejo shows, right? There was still a market for what we did.
Yeah. Also,
Right.
a lot of people for a while didn't know where to go to find
Yeah.
this stuff.
That's it.
Now you got, the Texas Miss, and there's stuff coming up that
Right,
that's
Hanover's
catering-
Mist,
Yeah, they're catering
right.
to rock.
and I believe that for a time, for whatever the longest time, bands would kind of compete with each other,
Yeah.
and not realizing that you don't compete with each other, you help each other.
Yeah.
Like
You can compete on stage.
bring-
That's okay.
Yeah.
Competing on stage is one thing, but
kick ass and be also kick ass
Yeah.
is a great thing. But like, it's not about don't go to their show, go to our show. No, we all need.
Yeah.
There's not enough out there to not. Let's just all go to everybody's show.
Well,
Yeah.
That
Let's
definitely,
build a good bill
Yeah.
and bring people to the show.
yeah, definitely put a great bill together like you like to do, or like he did the other night. Like, strength in numbers is kind of works. It works better than
Well,
like,
and it
like five-
synergized.
If that
It
same bill would have happened in 5 different clubs, all the different bands, it wouldn't have done what
would
it did.
not have
you know?
done the synergized effect,
Yeah.
the synergistic effect that it.
Can I ask you a
happened
question?
at night.
Because I heard you say that when you got back into music with 333, was there a period of time after Push Monkey and before 333, any substantial period of time that you weren't doing music?
About 6 years. Yeah,
Really?
I shut it.
He-
I
he-
cut.
he
I was
stopped
done.
doing it.
male
was done.
prostitute.
He
I
stopped
was.
doing it.
I was because it late.
I
Push
can't
Monkey.
picture you not doing music.
Well, and it took me a while to find that, and I appreciate that you see that. No, I was done. I was like, it was all about the money and the fame, and it hadn't happened, right? Like we got some fame and had no money. I was broke. But at the same time, I'm like, man, you know what? It's all about the business and not about the love. And then, so I said, I'm going to just be a family man. I've got my kiddos. I got remarried. Kind of did that thing. And then ultimately I was divorced, and I was sitting in my underwear in my apartment by myself with my family at her house.
Yeah.
You know, and I was kind of like, and I had to really kind of look inward and go, what do I love? Man, I love music. I miss being on stage.
Yeah.
You know, that was something that was a calling for me, right?
But call
and
back
I'm old,
again.
and I'm fat, and whatever, but it's still a calling for me. So I decided, I got with Ben Mills, and he was in the same kind of place.
Yeah.
Well, not divorced, but he was in that place where he wanted to find something new.
Yeah.
Right? And we just started a band, right? And it was my opportunity to kind of get back into music, and I realized early on that, man, I love this, and if I can't do it, if I can't make any money, if I can't make any fame, whatever, I still want to do it.
Yeah, for sure. But also, you notice like what a totally different climate it is now compared to what it was.
It is a different. I had to learn that.
It was tough. It's tough, man. Like, you know, but it's still, if you want to do it, you can do it. You know.
And I still believe in the scene. I believe that there are enough, you know,
music lovers, and
you know, Good Rogering, Blackheart Saints, White Label Analog, Freebleeder, Vallejo, Dharma Kings. There's a lot of really good bands out there that will bring people to the show and build this scene.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, and we can do this
easily. Well, I mean, there's, like I said, there's people that want it still. So, I mean, they just didn't know where to go.
They don't know where they're a little lost.
Yeah. So,
and that's the thing too, is because they're, like we were talking about before, there's not like really a set path anymore. There's so many different paths to get to the end of the game. You don't know which road to take. You're kind of like just going, do I go this way, or I can go that way? But should I go this way? And people don't. Even with this, I'm like, where do I go next? What thing do I? What's the magic potion for me to get this to the next level? And I'm constantly working. I'm sure Johnny does too. Yeah. I'm working at it constantly, trying to find out, hey man, how can I get this to the next point where more people will watch it, or more people will listen? And it's a daily struggle, because you just don't know what that secret sauce is.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, it's tough.
Well, and in you know, not to quote Democratic policy, but it takes a village, and this is a musical village.
Yeah,
and that's one of the reasons that you are super influential and super contributive. Bad word, to what we're doing now, because what your podcast is doing is giving us an opportunity to all be a community again.
And talk about
thank you.
What we're
happy
doing.
2-year anniversary.
Happy 2 years for you, man. Talk about what we're doing. You know, that's why we're here.
But you know, on the flip side of that coin, you know, I don't know if you guys know about the military episodes. Have you heard about that at all?
Huh?
A friend of mine, Hope Finch, she is really into helping nonprofit military organizations. We've had
Dan is into that too. So.
Yeah. So she contacted me about having the Regroup Foundation up, you know, and they came up about a month ago, and we were talking. I said, you know, why don't we, I mean, we come here and we bullshit about music and, you know, whatever we bullshit about, you know. I said, why don't we take one episode a month, and I'll let you book the episode. You can be a co-host, and you can bring a military veteran nonprofit organization up here, and they can, you know, get some recognition. People can find out how to support them. So we started doing that once a month. So we did one about a week ago. We got another one planned for next month. And it's just me kind of just, you know, reaching a new audience, but also kind of like, you know, giving something back. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
So that's where I'm kind of going with it now. It's still going to be about the band scene. I mean, my next month, I have already 10 episodes booked for next month already.
That's awesome.
Know? So, and it's, well, I mean, there's some people I haven't met before, and some old friends that are coming back up, you know, just to have a good time and shoot the shit. And, man, we got new members in our band, and, you know, This is what we're doing, you know?
Just catch everybody up.
Yeah, that's what it's like for me.
Keep it alive.
Yeah, you know,
Right,
because
keep
I need
present.
I need my bros to come up just to hang out and just shoot the shit and just be silly for once in a while. I
I
can't
mean,
be all.
you did go and paint the room and all.
Yeah, you know, the red
Red.
room. I fucking love this place. You know, and it was really funny. I felt so bad because I had this in my brain when I was thinking about this room. I'm like, oh man, I want red, you know, and then I want to do black trim, and then I'm looking at a picture of his studio, and it's like red with black trim. I'm like, shit, I already had it done. I
Man,
felt
this-
so bad. I'm like, he's gonna think I ripped it off.
There's
Nah,
nothing
nah.
wrong with ripping off cool.
I know, but still, I was like, man, I wanted to be original and just do something different, you know. But I look, then you know his.
It's been like that for a while. So
Yeah. So, anyways,
Well, so Bobby, thank you.
no, thank you.
Appreciate you.
Thank you so much for coming up. The second anniversary episode, man, this has been awesome. And
I'm glad I got to. I mean, obviously we have a huge history, but I got to interview Dave.
no kidding, yeah.
I have so many questions about this.
Well, that's the thing.
No
It's like
kidding,
when
right?
I've been so fascinated by these guys and what he does, and the
Yeah.
band is so good. Like when I was, I helped Omar shoot the 512 studios thing, and there was some bands that were, they come and go, and some of them were really great, and and I love the Misses so much that there's a girl
that's
rock
right.
band, yeah, they're really cute and hot, but I was kind of like, God, it was like I knew like it wouldn't, and then these guys came and just like
Slade.
fucking melted the walls, and I was like, thank you.
Right.
We need
Thank you.
Thank you. Right.
But I mean, that's the cool thing, man. Because on every podcast, I'll mention you, I'll mention you, I'll mention you, your brother. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, it's all about 512 Studios. You got Dave TV. You got Jim over to Texas Miss promoting heavily with that club. I mean, you doing your thing with 333. You doing your Dharma King, and I mean, putting together great bills. I mean, I like just to mention the same people because I want people to look at the work ethic because it's a work ethic that, you guys should be proud of because you guys are all fucking slaying it. You're all trying to get to that next level and do your thing.
Oh yeah.
And the younger generation, like, I know the Blackheart Saints, they're always looking. They're always watching to see what people are doing in our generation. Because when they're on the podcast, I kind of gave them, unless I gave them pointers, but hey, man, this is where I fucked up 25 years ago. Don't do the same
Yeah.
fucking thing. But I told them that.
Yeah.
And, if they listen, they listen. If they don't, they don't, But
I'm impressed with those guys. They work hard and they're going
that's
after it.
That's what I'm
Well,
saying.
and to their credit, I mean, Josh reached out to me and he asked for some pointers and some
Yeah.
ideas, and it's like, man, if you're that good, yet you're still open to suggestion, holy cow!
You're gonna do well.
Yeah,
Holy
and
cow! I mean, that's a no-fail scenario.
And I was talking to Nate the other night we're talking about drum stuff, and and he asked me, "Hey man, how do my drums sound?" I said, "Well, this drums got kind of buried. They did. I
Yeah.
thought his kit got buried." And I was honest with him. He goes, "Okay, man, maybe I need to change some heads out or try something different." He's that kind of guy that he won't. I'm not saying it was a negative comment. It was just constructive criticism,
constructive,
right?
and
Yeah. And he'll take that and he'll go work on it.
Right.
Not to say that, oh, well, Bobby's a dick and, you don't know what he's talking about. But,
No,
know what I'm saying?
I'll say
Yeah.
that. That's what I'll say.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. What do you got coming up?
Next week.
Rat,
Rat.
New York.
Dun, dun.
We're doing something together November 2nd. Thanks.
What do you
Thanks
got?
for the invite, Tony.
That's
inviting
right.
me.
Yo.
We're actually going to bring him to Houston.
Get the fuck out.
Yeah, he's been. We've been talking about trying to get Dharma Kings to Houston because they don't. That's a tough man. Houston's a tough market to
Such
crack.
a big city, so spread out.
What's the bill?
It's a BFE, and we're about to kind of. We've got the event up, but it's not really launched.
Okay.
Right.
You guys do really well there. Yeah.
We do well enough. We lean on the push monkey where we can. But we're actually I think we're gonna couch this as a release show
Okay.
because we haven't done an official release of the new EP
That's right.
in Houston, and that'll probably help the draw.
Good deal.
Right? And I've got Elixir. Some of those guys they've got another band called forgive
Stog?
No, it's like Brave and the Bold.
Oh, I haven't heard of that one yet.
Right, out of Houston, and then there's another Houston band that's going to be on the bill. So it should be like a 5-band bill, which a release party 5-band bill, bring in some known bands from Austin into Houston. It's funny
Are you
because
staying
Houston,
over?
yeah, Houston's a funny market.
I'm
because
coming. What day is this? I'm
This-
down. Let's
November
go.
So,
2nd.
so where are we
there.
staying?
Where are we staying? Where's the party? Where's the after party?
I might have a line on that on a really nice.
Oh, wait.
My girlfriend's nephew owns Spire, and he's a co-owner in Spire and what's the other club? Anyway, like DJ clubs, lots of money. Anyway, he might be able to put us. Anyway, I shouldn't probably say this publicly.
Do they have iguanas and tarantulas?
Yeah, probably. Anyway,
Boa constrictors.
I'll see what we can pull off. But that's going to be a great show. That's such a good market. Houston is such a good market, and they don't know it, and it
So big.
kills me because there's so many people there. But
Yeah.
they don't. They just never embrace local or regional music, and once they get that fever and realize what they have, that could be a
Be huge.
huge
Yeah.
market
Yeah.
for all of what we're doing.
Yep.
Mr. AJ Vallejo, what do you got coming up, brother?
Too much. No, I mean I got my hot sauce is coming out,
Oh, yeah.
and then I'm the guy that does all my videos. The guy that I've been shooting with for past 8 years now, Luke Adams. He's a Linklater understudy. He does YouTube film student, but he's just gotten so good. Like you can see the progression, the videos that we do. We're right now, tweaking out a treatment for a mini, like a short film we're gonna do together. So it's about karma. It's kind of dark, and I kind of want to like put all like Austin music. I'm gonna go hunting you guys down, but we want to put Austin music in it and make it. We're gonna shoot it in Austin. We're gonna use Austin actors and actresses and make it a kind of just like what we do here. We're gonna make it an Austin thing, and hopefully it turns out good. It's weird. It's a big thing because like a 3.5, 4 minute song. It's kind of like a little mini movie if it has a little script.
Yeah.
But then doing it like a full production it's a lot, So we're learning real quick.
Good deal, man.
At
That
first
sounds
we were
awesome.
like, hey, let's just do this and have fun. Like now we're like, bam.
It's a lot of work.
Same thing with the hot sauce. Like I was just gonna make some hot sauce for my friends and fans,
Yeah.
and it's like I'm like $5,000 in, and I haven't fucking bottled 2 bottles. Like you got to send it to the lab and do all this legal shit.
Have you
like,
tasted it yet?
yeah, it's great, man.
It's
I mean,
awesome.
so yeah.
Is it
so
hot? How hot is it? Real hot or?
It's hot. It's not like I want it to be where you can enjoy it.
Accessible high.
Accessible.
Yeah.
I don't want it to be a novelty thing. Like I'm not gonna call it
Yeah.
like Ashburn sauce or like.
So where can we buy it?
We'll hopefully be able to get right now. It'll
Hey,
start.
I know a guy.
I know a
I
guy.
got a hot sauce guy. You'll be able to obviously online, but like it'll be start out at a lot of the mom and pop stores and truck stops and stuff like that. But obviously, the goal is the HEB account or something like that.
Oh, yeah, that's a big one.
So yeah,
Try Specs.
specs or something like that would be cool. But
They have a lot of hot sauces over there, and I think it's just Texas, isn't it?
yeah,
So
but like you'll see them like one of the first ones deals that we got is like you'll see them at the airports and all that stuff like that. So
That's a good place to be.
good
yeah.
deal, man.
so
What's it called?
the Reaper. It's a Reaper pepper, but it's just AJ.
That's
Vallejo's
what
Reaper.
you grow, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck that.
AJ Vallejo's Reaper sauce. Check it out. AJVallejo.com.
Okay, there's the box.
I can't wait to taste it.
Oh
I'm
my
all
God.
excited.
Oh shit! Let's see.
I went and got chicharrones just because I thought I was going to get something. I
I was
didn't
gonna
know.
bring some of it.
There's a
That's
cool
awesome.
shop in Fredericksburg that has all the hot sauces. You know
Yeah.
what I'm talking about?
Yeah, so there it is already bottled.
Yeah, he's got it all hooked up.
And there's me at the
He's
bottom.
good to go, brother.
So it's kind of it's a thinner sauce.
It's a hot sauce. There's hot sauce. I'm learning all these things. Hot sauce is a more like the Tabasco, like the more thinner sauces, and then salsa is the chunkier.
Yeah, chunkier
It's a
sauce,
dipping
yeah.
thing. Hot sauces is a pouring sauce, so it's a pouring sauce. And we started out making a salsa, but like I just felt like it would be a better pouring sauce. You pour it on things,
Especially if you're going for heat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it seems to go, when you're trying to sell volume, you want the stuff that goes faster so they'll buy more. But I mean,
You know what?
you get a
dude?
big jar of salsa, you sit there for,
You might want to go down to Tears of Joy off of 6th Street.
all right, yeah.
You ever been in there?
No, never heard of it.
It's you walk in, it's like, you've been there, right? It's a club. It looks like it's a shop on 6th Street, but you walk in, it's a normal, real long shop, and it's just hot sauces everywhere.
Dude, anything like that, we're going to start searching around. But that sounds like
It's
the
on.
perfect
It's
place
right
to
on
do it.
6th Street.
There's one in Fredericksburg on the main
Yeah.
drag, and people just buy shit there all day long.
Those are the places
Yeah.
we're going after.
Tourists
so.
have.
Tears of Joy. That's what it's called.
I
on
love the
6th
name.
Street.
It's a great name.
But you go in there, they have every hot sauce. It's like the walls are just filled. It's just a whole
Yeah.
everywhere.
It's
That's all
funny,
it is.
when we were bottling the artwork for it, I was like, man, should just put a Reaper on it. But now I was kind of like, then I went and looked online. And
Everybody's
like,
got
everybody
one
has
on there,
Reaper
yeah.
on it. I was like,
Yeah.
it's
So.
like, let's just go with something generic that like an 80-year-old, conservative lady like in Pflugerville will like be like, oh, I like that. Like,
I'll check it out.
also my mom too. Mom's like, mijo, why you gotta put, why you gotta put, why you gotta put El Diablo in it on everything? Like, sorry,
Devils
Mom.
are cool, ma.
Yeah.
All right,
Cool, man.
people, we're gonna head out. To everybody out there, man, thank you for the past 2 years and the past 169 episodes. This has been great. It's been a great ride, and man, we are just starting right now. Thank you to my guest tonight, Mr. David Komie. The lawyer that rocks. You seen him on a billboard. He's right over here. Mr. Tony Park. Thank you so much, my brother. And Mr. AJ Vallejo.
And DJ Crash.
I was getting to that. I was getting to that.
Let me
DJ Crash.
retract.
DJ Crash
Dirty
of the
Worms.
Mighty Dirty Worms. God, I love that fucking band.
You're
So
great.
good. I'm gonna probably get the Dirty Worms out up here probably the end of next month. So that's
be
gonna
awesome.
be fucking awesome. Anyways, people, we're out. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. We'll see you on Monday with Omar Vallejo and Yayo, the Kiss guy.
I might crash that part.
You gonna crash that part? I think it got a couple
I
people gonna
might.
crash that
God
party.
help
So
y'all.
I fucking love him. Omar's my homie, though. I love him.
When is
you
it?
gonna crash Monday?
We're rehersing Monday, dude.
Are you?
Yeah.
You can
But
stop
you-
up after
rehearsal
We're
ends.
leaving. We're leaving the next day for.
Oh, are you?
Oh,
for
you got
York.
that.
That's right. Well, you can
I'll
you can listen
handle
to it on the bus.
I'll handle it.
Listen to it on the album. or
Oh,
something.
man, I got you.
I got you.
You might need a sub.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Take care of yourselves. Later.